old and you begin to grow weak, you can see what muscular atrophy really is. You see you ain't got it like you used to have it. But how much more in the spirit when you've been standing with 10 men, 20 men, saying you serving the Lord, but really you just accruing more knowledge to show other people how much you know. And you walk away from your first love. Let's see what the definition of straight is. Yeah, you can get both of them.
Straight definition, causing distress, limited as to means or resources.
So as more distress sinks in, as more limitations to obtaining the bare necessities, as that becomes the norm, right? The theme of America, as scarcity starts to settle in, you're going to see brothers that you never thought would fold. They're going to fold up. Get me, if you faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Right? Because adversity is coming. See, most of y'all don't even realize, man, everybody going to have to get tried. And you're going to see all these so-called goodly heathen, they going to turn on you and they're going to run back to their own nation. How I know that? Isaiah 13. Every man's going to return unto his own nation. And those who don't go be thrust through. And when you're talking about the penalty of death, you're going to see the real color of your enemies come out. Ain't going to be too many Edomites out here willing to embrace death just to say they died loving you. Go ahead and get it.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
No, that's it. So if you faint in the times that are to come, your strength is small. And that goes for me too. Ain't nobody exempt from the days and the times that are coming upon the earth. See, again, man, that's why I'm really questioning how the heathen going to avoid all this. Why they get stalled out when the Israelites, God's chosen children, got to go through. Right. That to me is crazy. But brother, get me a Sirach 6 and 13, and then we're going to go to Psalms 96 and 10.
Doesn't pass it
Yeah, actually, hold on. So the brother said something that is spiritual, because it's in the book of Jeremiah chapter 25. See, with this new doctrine, we essentially talking about they can avoid drinking of the cup. But Jeremiah 25 says all the nations are going to have to drink. All of them. And last time I checked, nations are comprised of individuals. Every last person is going to feel the sting of that slavery. See, when you look at Zerubbabel under King Cyrus, one of the reasons why King Cyrus had it on his heart to aid Zerubbabel in his efforts is that Zerubbabel's countenance was falling. He was in a depressed state because of the lot of his people. And the king saw it and he inquired. And that's literally how the story begins, right? That's how you see Ezra and Nehemiah. Especially the book of Ezra. That's how it begins. And we're going to pull Ezra 4 because we're about to get into this lesson. We ain't even scratched it yet. But we just going in the spirit for a second because this needs to be addressed, man. Because this is going to make waves. Not so much in those who are well-rooted. It's like when a hurricane blows through. The saplings and the young trees are the ones that die first. They're the first ones that get drowned and uprooted. Right. But the trees that have their roots deep into the earth, they're able to stand the winds and draw nutrients from the undisturbed soil that's beneath it. That strong foundation. And most of you don't have it because you're trying to read the New Testament and you're trying to wrestle with things that are too hard for you. And yes, you could spend 20 years in this truth, and there are things that are too hard for you. How do I know that? Second Ezra. The angel literally had to tell Ezra, a master of the law, to stay in his lane. Stop asking about things that you can't fix or that you don't know. So none of us are beyond that form of reproof. Stay in your lane. Go ahead and get it, brother. Yeah.
All right, Sirach chapter 6, verse 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends.
So my question is, who are your enemies? Is somebody your enemy simply because they treat you badly? Or can you have an enemy because they're God's enemy? Because last time I checked, in Psalms 139, King David said, "Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies." So if King David, the king of Israel, and another of God's anointed, understood that God's enemies are his enemies, why are we trying to make friends of our enemies?
Right.
I have questions, y'all. But let's get that Psalms real quick.
Psalms 32.
No, give me Psalms 96 and 10. Yeah, but. Because this whole idea that all of a sudden, because a white man smiled at you, all of a sudden he can, I'm not even talking about you, man. Go to work. Go to work, man. You on stolen land. You the sons of the slave master. That answer your question? And he gonna shake his head. But he won't take his ass home, though. See, he said, I didn't do nothing, but what about all them people being locked in cages at the border? See, again, all these white people, they claim, oh, I have nothing to do with it. But you show as hell ain't stopping the people who do. And you're directly related to these people by blood. That's why I don't take the excuse, I'm not responsible. Because as soon as a black or Hispanic person commits a crime, that reflects on all of us, does it not? See, again, when they apply their dynamics to us with the stereotypes, you judge one, it's the same for all. But when we do that to them, all of a sudden, that's wrong. Don't do that. See, and I thought the Bible said we were going to judge our enemies according to how they did us. I thought the Most High God said his judgment was likened unto a ring. Right. In 2 Ezra 5 and 42. And I was referencing Isaiah 59, right? The Most High God is going to pay them back according to their deeds. So my question is, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Got time for the Bible?
Not wrong.
All right, at least you're honest. Do you know God's name? Not interested. But again, if I said I was an OnlyFans model with a newly healed BBL and I could throw it in a circle and do left cheek, right cheek, keep me over here. See, again, man, everybody got an excuse until they need God on the spot. All of a sudden, God, where are you? And I need you to be punctual, God. But when the Most High God is sending his servants out here to ask you about the Bible, all of a sudden, you don't have time. Don't worry. You will be paid back for your insolence.
How could you let that happen?
Yeah, got the nerve to blame God. See, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you do the same two-step. You disregard what God tells you to do, get caught up, then you curse God when God lets you suffer for the things that you've done. All of a sudden, well, it's God's fault. How many of our single mothers in our community blame God for their children being taken in their youth? But they don't do any self-reflection and start questioning, man, why didn't I give my kid a father? Why didn't I hold myself accountable and impose some rules and some boundaries on my child so they're not running the streets? So they're not gangbanging. So they're not sleeping with every young woman who will open her legs. Because most of the people dying in the hood, newsflash y'all, it's because they sleeping with the same promiscuous women, getting caught up. See, again, I said it earlier, the Most High God can use anything to get you caught up. And it only takes a little while. Don't take a lot. Don't take a long time. How many people driving down the road catch a stray bullet? It don't take a lot, y'all. And I noticed when we first came out here, because we ain't been in this spot about 2 weeks, everybody was walking around smiling. Motherfuckers frowning now. Love it. I love seeing these white folks frown. On the land that you stole, you shouldn't be happy at all. See, the white man will tell you shit. You can pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Meanwhile, he's sitting in air conditioning while you break your body into pieces. He paying lower interest rates while you drowning in them. And I know myself for certain. I know I'm paying higher rent than my neighbors. I saw my neighbor's invoice. It was laying in front of her door. She paying $1,100. We paying $1,600. Hell of a difference. But see, that's what happens when you're in the hand of your enemies. And your enemies have the nerve to say, we didn't do anything wrong. What's the problem? See, most of y'all don't know. Part of your enemies oppressing you is making you subject to payments. So that's in the book of Baruch. Yeah, Apocrypha, but Baruch is a contemporary with Jeremiah. That would put it in the Old Testament. Like I said, most of you don't read the Old Testament writings. You don't focus on that. You're trying to run to the New Testament. And as a result, you skip all the wisdom that you need to understand the New Testament. But that's all I needed there. Brother, can you get me First Maccabees? And we're going to go 1 through 10. And then I'll let you know from there.
We never hit the Psalm 96.
Oh, we never hit it? Go ahead and hit it.
96 to 10, right?
Yeah, go ahead and hit it.
Talking too much.
Psalms chapter 96, verse 10. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously.
So we're supposed to be saying among the heathen. We're supposed to be preaching this word among the heathen. Right? As a matter of fact, get me Isaiah 58 and 1 real quick. And then we're going to go to the book of Tobit after this.
1-1.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
So we're supposed to be crying aloud, sparing not, and showing our people where they're going on. We're supposed to be crying aloud to the house of Jacob, not everybody. Right? Brother, let's go to Tobit 13 and 3. Because, again, we're supposed to be saying this among all nations. See, and I think, again, part of the issue with our people is that they're so focused on their enemies that they've forgotten their own people. Too focused on getting debates. Too focused on going to the Christian church. Last time I checked, the strip club has just as many blind Israelites in it. I'm not saying you're supposed to go in the strip club, but you should be around so your people know where to get that good news, where to get the gospel, where to get clean through the washing of the word. Last time I checked, the club has plenty of our wayward people in it. But some way, somehow, we keep going where there's a mixed multitude, where there's going to be more heathen than our people. Trying to get some stragglers instead of being a wise fisherman and going where the fish are actually at. See, that's why Yahushua, or who you call Jesus Christ, told his disciples to go to the highways and byways. See, he wasn't telling them, hey, go where you're not going to have success. He told them, hey, go where your people are so that you can teach your people. Yeah, there might be some heathen there, but that's not your focus. Your people are your focus.
Right.
Go ahead and get it.
Tobit chapter 13, verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them.
So we're confessing not just our God Yahweh, not just his son Yahushua, not just the laws of the Bible before the heathen. We're doing it only because we've been scattered among them.
Right.
If we were not scattered among the heathen, they wouldn't see any of us because they would have no need for us. Our whole purpose is to wake our people up, no one else. And by our people, I mean blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and you scattered Israelite diaspora. Now, if you have a question about you being scattered, I can answer that, more than likely. There's a lot of scattered Israelites. And see, that's why I do my due diligence to learn history and people migrations throughout history, so that you know who people are and where they came from.
Right.
Because your oppressor is going to do what he's always done. As soon as he's able to lay a yoke of iron over your neck, he's going to call you by a name that he decides. Look at the Kunlun slaves of China. Most of you have never looked up the Kunlun people, so you're not familiar with the slaves who built the Great Wall of China, whose building started during the Tang Dynasty when the Kunlun slaves were initially brought to China.
Right.
See, most of y'all aren't doing that type of research because you're too fixated on trying to combat the church. The Christian church is dead, y'all. I don't know if y'all have heard. They're hemorrhaging people. That's why they're coming to you now. Your enemy used to pretend like you didn't exist because their coffers were full. The pews had butts in them. Now that the pews are empty, they're coming to you. Because you're the big kid on the block, even though you're not wearing the big kid apparel. You know what I'm saying? You're not pulling up to camp in a Bentley like the pastor was, pulling up to his church. You're not wearing the finest clothes that money can buy like your pastor was. But that doesn't change the fact that the church is dead. So my question is, why are we trying so damn hard to jump into a coffin? So go ahead and get that one more time. I just want to get it once more to refresh the memory of the crowd.
Tobit chapter 13, verse 3. Confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them.
Get the next verse.
Verse 4. There declare his greatness and exalt him before all the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the God of our Father forever.
Get the next.
And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations, among whom he hath scattered us.
Now, I have a question. Where's the mercy for everybody else? Most High God is going to show mercy to his people and gather them out of the nations in which they were scattered. Where is the mercy for the people who have oppressed us in these scattered lands? See, again, man, that's why these new doctrines, it's just, there's so many implications. Brothers trying to make something more out of themselves in the nation of Israel instead of just doing their job. One of the things that King David said that stuck with me is that he'd rather be a doorman in the kingdom of heaven than not be there at all. He didn't say, hey, I want to be a doorman and then get promoted to manager and then get promoted to, CTO and then CIO and then CEO. He didn't say that. He just said, hey, I just want to be there in my duty, in my role, doing what God made me to do. Yeah, all you Israelites saying that you want to run some shit, that's why the Most High God taking it from you. Because you think you run it. I mean, and my whole deal is, how many times you got to learn this lesson, man? We're going to go into this lesson today, and you're going to see, we've been learning this lesson real slow, over and over and over again, trying to incorporate these heathens in every damn time and blow up in our face. Right. And then a couple hundred years go by after we get out of captivity from them, and then we go through other captivities, other hardships. And then once we get our sensibilities about us, we go right back to trying to incorporate the same thing that destroyed us. Then return into our vomit. Makes no sense whatsoever. But brother, can you get me that that first Maccabees 1 through 10? We're gonna go ahead and just open a window into the Greek captivity, right? When the Greeks took us over and put us in captivity. See, after we were able to return and rebuild the second temple and restore our land. Got time for the Bible, brother? Up on that note, gotta go. And see, I see the eagle on the back of his shirt and the blonde highlights. I told you, man, you can't make it up, man. You can't make it up. See, and our people don't realize your countenance betrays you. See, just because you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian don't mean you are allied to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. Most of y'all call yourselves American. When the white man put that on you, at the threat of death. And I love how that old white man turned around like, that ain't true. Well, come and tell me that I'm a liar and prove it. Go ahead and come tell me I'm lying. Because last time I checked, America was named after Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian navigator. See, that ain't got nothing to do with a bloodline or an ethnicity. That's a title. And we didn't adopt it ourselves. Our slave master told us we were American. And ain't it something, he called you an American after he let you out of slavery. See, you had to earn being an American. See, up until 1863, you were just a slave. That same way you had to earn being a Roman citizen. And most of y'all don't even know that the Romans, every nation they conquered, they conscripted the men. That's why for some of y'all, it's so hard to believe that Israelites were in these offices of Roman authority. The same way you got Black and Hispanic senators, you had a damn Hamite president here in America. See, how do we acknowledge all these heathen and all these different positions, and then we also acknowledge the deep state, the white men and women who never change? The people who go to the G20 summit. See, again, we have to acknowledge all these things. In the same way, it exists today is the same way it existed back then. That's why they don't mind putting you in a position of power, because they got to have a few token coons. If the white man didn't put a black senator and a black congressman, you wouldn't believe that contributing to his kingdom would net you any benefit. See, it's an incentive or incentivizer for you to work harder, to give more of yourself. It's a method of control. Thank you. See, most of y'all are going to break your body into pieces and throw your life away trying to make yourself something in the white man's kingdom. When the white man's unspoken rule is, I can only let in so many of you niggas. After I meet my quota, then guess what? No more admission. See, you black women are getting a kind of a remedial lesson in that now. 350,000 of you just got laid off from government positions. But that's because you thought the white man truly incorporated you into his kingdom. When he put you in those positions so that you could go back to your community and tell them, hey, see what serving the white man got me? See, that's why a lot of our children are taught to go to school, putting themselves in enough debt to have bought a house. All for the sake of getting a piece of paper, and then you can't get a job. You can go by. You got time for the Bible? You don't? You do? Okay. All praises. So we're out here to teach the scriptures to God's chosen people. Do you know who they are? No? Who did Moses lead into the wilderness out of Egypt? Who are those people? The Israelites. Now, the question is, the people who are the Israelites in the Bible, who are they today? That's a good question, right? So let's see how we can figure that out. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. And then we're going to go to 46 on down after that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So this was to the Israelites. If they disobeyed God's laws, they would be brought under curses. Now, these curses also demarcate who the Israelites are. Let's prove that, right?
46 on down.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou hast served not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So a sign gives you important information, right? If it's a stop sign, what do you do? Stop. If it says yield, you yield. You do what the sign says. So the curses are for a sign. So the curses are going to show you who the Israelites are. Let's read one of the specific curses, and it should immediately tell you who the Israelites are.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
So let me get this straight. This curse here is that we would serve our enemies in one of all things: food, water, clothing. They would put yokes of iron upon our necks, and they wouldn't show mercy to the old or the young. Who did that happen to? You don't know about slavery here in the United States? Yeah, who'd that happen to here? And who else? Oh, now, she said something in the spirit. You might not know it, but so-called black people, in history, they used to know we were the Jews. Get me Negro land map real quick. I want to show you some evidence. On the coast of where you see Ghana and Togo today, they had a place called the Kingdom of Judah, or the Kingdom of Wida, Wida, Fida, whatever nation was taking us into slavery, that's how they called us Judah. So you had the Dutch, you had the Spanish, the Portuguese, the British, and I believe the French as well. I already said it, right? But they all called us the Kingdom of Judah. He's going to show you a picture. Yeah, I know it's... Yeah, we're going to make it quick. I know you were in transit. Yeah, that was good right there. Right there. Yeah, just zoom in on. There you go. You see where it says Feta or Weta? It's right there. Kingdom of Weta. Widah. That was another way that they said Judah. Weta. There's I believe it's from the 1500s, an older map where they called the Democratic Republic of Congo the land of the Jews. So your historians already know who so-called black people are. And there's a reason why I say so-called black people, because did you know that the slaves, or the slavery that black people went into, it wasn't just in America? Have you ever heard of the Indian Ocean slave trade or Silk Road slave trade? No. They took somebody called the Zanj, Z-A-N-J, which means black, into slavery. So our people, they fall up under this curse that we just read. But here in America, they put Hispanics and they also put Native Indians in slavery. We were on the same plantations. You know the term for a cowboy, vaquero? Weren't they blacks and Hispanics originally? Yeah, well, they were black and Hispanic. We were the vaqueros, the cowboys. Now, if you're called a boy and you're a grown man, isn't that derogatory? Yes, it is. Cowboys only became cool because everything blacks and Hispanics do becomes cool when we do it. So once they saw us on them horses, and they saw the image of power and authority that it gave us, all of a sudden, the white man wants to be a cowboy too. But these curses follow the Israelites as a sign and a penalty for us breaking God's laws. So I have to ask you, who is your father? Because you are who your father is. Are you Hispanic? Is he Mexican? What is he? Your father. Your father's Jewish?
Oh, my dad?
Yeah, your dad.
Yeah, he's Hispanic.
Okay, Hispanic from where?
London?
What?
What?
Hispanic from where?
He was born in Atlanta.
Atlanta?
But we have family in Mexico.
Mexico. So you're Mexican. You're the Azteca, right? The sons and daughters of the Aztecs. The Bible literally says y'all were from the tribe of Issachar. Issachar meaning he who was hired. Aren't you headed to or from work? Yes. What do y'all like to do most and do best? Work. Hey, I have friends who are married to Mexican women, and they have to remind their wives, hey, stop working. You know, take 5 minutes, baby. But the Bible also says that Issachar saw that rest was good. What do y'all like to do in the middle of a workday? Siesta, about 2 hours, you knock off, and you have a little respite, you rest. And then after that, you hit the work twice as hard. And I always say this, and I mean it as a more of a compliment, right? I hate working with Mexicans because you always make me look bad. I can never work hard enough. But that's your gift, right? Another thing, another prophecy surrounding your people is that you are likened unto a strong donkey crouching between two burdens. Where's Mexico located? Between America and Canada, and Central America and South America, and there's an immigration crisis going on at all times. Either somebody's trying to come into Mexico and go to South America, or they're trying to go into Mexico to go to America, right? So, if you're from the tribe of Issachar, sister, what are you supposed to be doing as an Israelite? Let's see. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. I know you don't got a lot of time. We're going to make it short. Just the last one, I promise.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
How many commandments are there, sister? They say 10. There's 613. Now, could you win a game if you didn't know the rules? No. So if you think there's only 10 commandments, there's 603 commandments that you have no idea of. That's why we're out here, sister, to let you know who you are and to remind you how to serve God. We're here every Saturday between 3 and 6, all right? All right, sister. Just remember, you're from the tribe of Issachar. You a princess of Zion. And don't let these heathen tell you that you ugly, because you set the trends around here, all right? All right, beautiful sister. Be safe. Yes, ma'am. Have a blessed day. And your God's name is Yahweh. Yahweh means he who exists. And his son's name is Yahweh Shai, which means he who delivers. See, don't be lost, sister. You're supposed to be right here. I was just kidding. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you though, when you get reminded you're an Israelite, it should liven your spirits. And if you're anything like me, sister, I know you said to yourself at times, man, there's something different about us. I knew there was something different about my people. There's a reason why we're faster and stronger and better than everyone else, and yet everybody treats us like we're servants. They treat us like we're the stupid on the planet. Seeing over in the Middle East, you got to be familiar with the terms that they used to call their slaves, like a bead. See, again, that's the type of information that most of you blacks, Hispanics, and Indians don't have, which is why the Palestinians get to say, hey, why don't y'all come help us? Hey, man, you blacks were in slavery. Y'all know what it's like. Come help us. Meanwhile, they still got blacks in slavery in Palestine. See, again, that term, Abid, look it up. A-B-E-E-D, Abid. It's real simple. And you'll see all the history associated with it. See, that's when you start to see these heathens start to sweat, when you're familiar with what they call their slaves and how they treat them. You got time for the Bible, sister? I tell you, man, and that's how the black woman treats the black man. Won't even look at him, but let the white man go, hey, how you doing? You want to be on Ghetto Gaggers? Shit, I want to be on there. How much you paying?
Can I make the clap on camera?
Yeah, for real, I could do left cheek, right cheek. Shit, your white women can't do this. See, that's how the black woman treat the black man. Meanwhile, they trying to say, oh, y'all don't like black women. Well, no shit, y'all don't like us. See, that's why the black man is a passport bro now. He's going where he's liked. And see, the black woman, only you could fuck up the most generous and most patient man on the planet. Only you can mess that up. You got these black women on social media talking about, man, I saw a black man in Tokyo. He didn't want it to have anything to do with me. Because he didn't go to Japan to talk to you. He left you behind to go to Japan. You didn't get the memo? See, I'm only talking about this because we just had yet another black woman pretend like we don't exist. But see, let a white man jump out the bushes and hit her in the head. All of a sudden, she gonna want to talk to her brothers. Where my brothers at?
Once when they need something from you or when you don't want them, they can't have you no more.
Yeah, if they can't have you no more, all of a sudden, they doing everything to rope you down. But the moment you try to give them love and affection, all of a sudden they turn into that demon again. But y'all, we ain't gonna let that stop the lesson. Let's go ahead and keep going these scriptures, right? Give me that First Maccabees 1 and 10. Because we're gonna open a small window to give a glimpse into Greece as they took us into slavery and how things were going on. Right? Go ahead and get
You say 1 through 10 or just
1 through 10.
Yes, sir.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things, he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died.
And we know this is talking about Alexander the so-called Great. Now, most of y'all don't know that Alexander the Great had a general named Cletus the Nigger. Right? Now, you'll have historians saying that, oh, well, there was Cletus the White. See, the word nigger just means black. It's Latin. Right? And they try to say they called them black and white just to distinguish the two. But you were never called a nigger if you weren't of black complexion. See, that's what the white man will tell you, because all throughout Europe, you have all types of basically kings and members of nobility who are called the black or the swarthy or the nigger. And they're going to tell you that all of them are somehow white folks. See, again, most of y'all aren't doing your homework, and that's why they get to pull the wool over your eyes, because you're not familiar with these people. But I digress. Cletus the nigger was Alexander the Greek's right-hand man, and he was a general under Alexander's father, Philip. He saved Alexander the Great's life in battle, only to be requited by being killed while Alexander was in a drunken rage. Cletus the nigger's sister also was Alexander the Great's wet nurse, named Lannick. This is all information that you can openly look up. None of it's hidden. The only thing that's hidden to you is that these were Jews, the real blacks, the real Israelites. Now, don't that sound real familiar? A white boy rising to prominence, surrounded by niggas. Don't that sound familiar? You see that all over America. Whether they be a male or female, white, Asian, whatever. If they want to rise to prominence, emulate black culture, surround yourself with black people, and you'll get put on in no time. Some of you niggas are so swept up in this movement that y'all are calling Eminem the greatest rapper that ever lived. When all he did was ride the gravy train of being surrounded by niggas. Machine Gun Kelly, same thing. Lil Pump, Paul Wall, all these niggas. Same phenomena. Nothing's changed. But you always pay the price, though, when they get put on, and then they don't give you no money. How about Clive Davis? One of the biggest label owners of all time. A so-called Jew, right? Fake Jew. But he made his fortune capitalizing off of black talent. I'm only saying all this just to let you know. Alexander the Great being surrounded by black people shouldn't surprise you. And not to mention, this is where the white man starts counting his greatness. Greco-Roman times. See, but they always leave out the help. They do that now, just like they did it then. Keep going, brother.
Verse 8, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
So when these devils put crowns on themselves, Alexander's generals who took over his empire, in his wake, after his death, evils were multiplied in the earth. Because if you think one white man is bad, can you imagine 4 of them? And then each one putting crowns on their sons' heads to be governors, to be lieutenants, to be lesser authorities. See, we see that now. Wherever the white man goes, wickedness follows him. And we see that account right here in the book of 1 Maccabees. Keep going.
Even with that power, and they take that privilege.
Say it to the mic. Say it to the mic.
So even with that little bit of power they get, they take the privilege and abuse the hell out of it. You can even look at that with the cops of today. They take their authority and abuse that shit.
But the thing is, though, the Most High God puts protections on his people if you keep his commandments. Because when your ways please the Lord, he maketh your enemies to be at peace with you. And I'm going to tell you, the parameters of making your enemies to be at peace with you are about to get a whole lot more stringent if our people don't come back and start keeping God's commandments and stop deviating because things are making them uncomfortable. Some of y'all are going to trust your enemies to your own demise. We always read Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. All of a sudden you're being told, well, some of them though, hold out hope. Yeah, you're not even supposed to be trying to scrutinize your enemies to see which ones are good. You're supposed to just preach to your people, pack it up, and go home. That's your job. Preach to the Israelites among the Gentiles. Keep it simple, y'all.
Verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed. Surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome and reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
So you have this individual named Antiochus, right? Antiochus is going to prove to be a very wicked person. And he's going to put all sorts of oppression on our people. When I say our people, I mean blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, real Israelites. Right? But the Most High God is going to strike him with a disease. And you're going to see him do a complete 180. But, brother, can you get me verses 54 through 64 in this same chapter? I know we're going to stay in the books of Maccabees a little long today, but I think it's very important that we give a glimpse into the oppression that we faced then, because it parallels what we face now. You're literally going to see them doing everything that they did here to us in slavery. You're going to see it all being done here in the book of Maccabees.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 54. Now, the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire.
So we have the first infraction that we're reading, because they've already done more up to this point, right? They've already put strangers in the land. They've already done slaughters to our people. But we're just going to get some of the cleft notes here, right? One of the things that you weren't allowed to do as a slave here in America is read the Bible. If they found you reading the Bible with comprehension, you'd be put to death. Now, why would they do that? Ever hear of a man named Nat Turner? Nat Turner read the Bible. He realized, damn, we're the Israelites. And the people who have us in slavery are our enemies and God's enemies as well. He probably knew they were Edomites. Speaking as a man, I don't know for certain. I couldn't back that up if somebody put me on the spot. But he knew enough to raise up and to get others to raise up likewise, to go against their enemies. And most of y'all don't know all the things they did to Nat Turner's body after they killed him. They didn't just lynch him and cut all his fingers off, all his toes off, burn him alive, pick his skin off, boil him down in the grease, and then eat him. And somebody even took his phallus home. They even had the cranial cap of his skull. They literally took the organs out of his body. They literally did a pick and pull, like a car at a junkyard, on our brother. Because they thought by eating his body, it would give them power. Who are the people who do stuff like that? I don't know, people who believe in the Talmud, the Halakha, and the Kabbalah. Those are halakhic and Kabbalistic, practices. See, a lot of y'all don't know about your enemy, the fake Jew, who takes the foreskin of his circumcised son, and he makes a dish out of it to eat it. Most of y'all don't know about that, how they eat the placentas, how they do those blood facial treatments. Kim Kardashian was doing that a few years ago, trying to popularize it. See, most of y'all are looking at these things, not understanding these are rituals according to other religions, other religious practices. And as a result, they do it right in your face, and you don't know what's going on because you're not reading. But keep going.
Verse 57. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
So every month, they were doing a search of our home. And if you had basically a book of the Bible, the Old Testament, you'd be put to death, and everybody in your house would be put to death. Correct. It sounds like today, the meeting a quota. And you got to remember, if you're an undertaker, that's big business. It's big business to have a couple thousand people every month that you got to bury. You got to allot a plot of land for them. You got to sell a plot of land or a mausoleum for a family. See, again, it's big business dealing in imprisonment and death. And the white man has always done or dealt in those terms, dealt in that business.
On that cut, copy, and paste it along with kill, steal, and destroy.
Kill, steal, and destroy is what he does. But let's keep going.
Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
So if you were keeping the law of circumcision, they would kill the infant, the mother, and the father. That sounds real similar to when they used to lynch our sisters while they were pregnant. And see, most of y'all, they pimp your culture back to you and you don't even know it. Remember that game Fear back in the day?
Yeah.
The main antagonist was a girl named Alma. The reason why she had psychic powers was, well, not the reason why, but the reason why she was so hostile is because they locked her up because of her powers and she was pregnant. And when she died, she had a baby in her womb. And according to the story, the baby was still kicking. There's a story you can look up about a sister. Can you look this up? Slave hanged, baby still kicking in stomach. I want to get her name. There was a sister that they hanged from a bridge, and she was pregnant. And the baby was so well developed that as she died, the baby was still kicking in her womb. But we see here in the Bible that the Greeks were hanging our infants by their necks. So if you think being pregnant would somehow sate the thirst for blood from your enemies, you would be mistaken. If anything, he sees that like a deal from Big Lots, 2 for 1. And see, ain't it something here in America? They'll tell you abortion is legal, but what if you hit your girlfriend while she's pregnant and she miscarries? You'll get charged with manslaughter or murder. See, again, it's good for them, but bad for you. Still kicking your stomach. Yeah. See if we can find. Yep, Mary Turner. Thank you, sir. The person you are likely referring to is Mary Turner, an African-American woman who was lynched by a white mob in Georgia in 1918. While the event was a lynching, not a legal hanging, like there's a fucking difference, right? The horrific details are consistent with the account you described. Historical accounts of the incident state that Mary Turner was 8 months pregnant when she was murdered on May 19, 1918, in Brooks County, Georgia. The mob was enraged because she had publicly denounced the prior lynching of her husband. So this sister got lynched by the so-called white man because she voiced opposition to the lynching of her husband. Oh, but they need to be saved, though. Right. Her husband, Hayes Turner, and threatened to have the perpetrators arrested. Right? While she was still alive, a member of the mob used a large butcher's knife to cut open her abdomen, and her unborn baby fell to the ground. So after they hanged her and the baby was still in there kicking, they cut her abdomen open and they killed the baby outside the womb. See, again, this is the type of stuff that you got to understand about your history here in America. See, I don't give a damn about all these damn white folks talk about I've changed. No, you haven't. Because if you had, you'd go home. Last time I checked, you can't be peaceful in somebody else's house.
Y'all need to be on another corner.
No, we need to be right here, sister and brother.
I just want more voices to hear you.
Oh, we got brothers over there. That's why we over here. Y'all got time for the Bible? Y'all got time? Come see us. See, I almost failed. See, you need to be right here. Give me Acts 7:48 real quick. Because God don't dwell in temples made with hands. See, your God ain't in the church. See, it's a shame. We got to keep telling our people this, man. There's a church on every corner in the hood. Why the hood still violent? Go ahead and get it, brother.
Acts chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Now get it in 1724.
1724.
Yeah, they say the same thing. So it said, albeit the Most High God dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Thus saith the prophet. Let's get it again because Israel learned slow. We have to be told the same thing in the same book twice.
Acts chapter 17, verse 24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So that sister telling us to go to her Baptist church? No deal. Because God ain't there. God dwelleth not in temples made with hands. It's not personal, y'all. We just try to tell y'all how to serve God according to the scripture. Not according to your own vain opinion. I understand you might really like your pastor. Now I'm going to tell you, as much as you like your pastor like you 10 times more because you paying him. We don't want a damn cent from you. We don't want a dime. We just want your time. That's all we want. Your time and attention. And see, it's a shame. The brother didn't even talk. See, again, man, little things give you away. The woman's supposed to be silent in the congregation. See, people be thinking, man, them Israelites, man, they assholes. No, we just follow the Torah. That's all. And look at what the church has become because the woman insisted on raising her head and raising her voice. Now you got damn gay folks wanting to be pastors. You got literal gay churches where they're teaching children how to masturbate as part of their so-called religious curriculum. Ain't that what the homosexual did as soon as he got into school? All of a sudden he wants to teach your children about sex ed and teach them how to be homosexuals and reprobates. Why would he be different in the church? See, most of y'all aren't doing your homework. Most of y'all don't know about the gay agenda of 1984. Look that up for me, the gay agenda of 1984. Right before Congress, by the way. Where homosexual ideology directly stated that they were coming for our children. No, that's not what happened.
For
It's getting harder to find this stuff, you know. See, and this is something that is getting harder and harder to find. When we get another break, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to find it. Because you have to know it by name. But it was read before Congress. Because it was originally printed in a magazine in the 80s. And they read it before Congress. And the objective was plainly stated that they were coming for our children. And to break up the family unit. I would say they've largely succeeded.
right.
How you doing, brother? Keep going, man. You got it.
Point they got boys dressing up as girls or trying to do surgery to become a female.
Yeah, they start small. You know, your little boy come home from preschool talking about, yeah, we played dress up today. And you ask your little kid, hey, so what'd you dress up as? Oh, a princess. What you mean? What was your costume? Oh, I wore a dress. So wait a minute, your teacher put you in a dress? There's a lot of videos on social media right now of parents going up to preschools, going up to daycares, and getting in the teacher's face, asking who gave you the authority. I wanted to replace him.
No.
Damn. Nah.
NASA, you hit.
Huh?
Changing that shit like you like NASA. You hit.
Oh, like NASCAR?
Yeah, changing that shit.
Yeah, buddy. But parents asking teachers, who gave you the authority to put my child in a dress? You got mothers going up to schools going, who gave you the authority to tell my little girl she could be a little boy? And then all of a sudden, you're made to be the bad guy because you don't want your child being raised in the ideology of homosexuality. You're not trying to inflict a damn mental condition upon your child where they think that they could become another gender. And see, the part that nobody talks about is how many of these transgenders kill themselves after they done wrecked their bodies through all this hormone therapy that they say will basically make you transition. You'll have the physical appearance of the other sex.
The crazy thing is they talk about self-love too. But you gotta hate yourself that much to want to change your body that drastically. It's crazy.
Yeah, they always try to dress it up as, oh, well, it's a form of self-love, self-acceptance. Well, aren't you rejecting what you actually are in favor of something you can never be?
Makes no fucking sense.
Makes no sense. But see, that's brought to you by the white man, the original homosexual on the planet. They had pederasty during Greco-Roman times. See, most of y'all need to look these terms up. Stop assuming that your leaders are telling you the truth every time they open their mouth. Stop assuming. Make sure when they read something, you have your Bible open with them and read along. When they drop a source, make sure you grab the book. If you can't find the physical copy or afford it, I'm broke too, I understand. Look it up. Go to Anna's Archive. One of the easiest websites to get a book from on the planet right now. I believe Library Genesis is another one, but Anna's Archive is the one that's usually going to have what you need. It'll have it in PDF format, and you can store it on a drive, you can trade it around, you can do whatever you want. But make sure you're following along when your teachers are leading you through these texts and these different books and these quotes. Make sure you follow, because a lot of times they'll lie to you because you assume that they know better. And because you're assuming, they take advantage of their reputation among you. Like them saying King James is a white man. Y'all believe that because you didn't do your homework. See, and I even called it too. I said it was small, but there's something behind it. I knew it. Well, let's get back to 1 Maccabees.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 62. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was a very great wrath upon Israel.
So that idol altar that they were sacrificing at, that's where they were sacrificing pigs and doing the Feast of Bacchus or Mardi Gras. See, again, most of y'all ain't reading. How you doing, man? Yeah, go ahead and just listen in. Yeah, we got a new one. Yeah, had to get a new one, man. Oh, shit, did I bring them for... let me check my bag later. I think I brought your fringes out here. Hold on. Or did I forget him again? Damn, I forgot him again. Maybe you so lucky when you put me. I knew to put them in my bag, bro. Damn. And I don't got no zeets on me. All right. I forgot this week. You lucky, man. But get me 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. And then we're going to roll over to chapter 9 and read 1 through 9. We're going to be in 2 Maccabees for a second, too. Because we need to express and expound on some of the things that our people were facing during these times. See, when they were sacrificing on the idol altar, they were making our people eat pork. And some of our people, as you see in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, right, that they were fully resolved to die rather than to transgress God's laws, right? That's the type of conviction you're going to need to make it to the end. So my question is, if you're all of a sudden now saying that Gentiles can receive salvation, you slowly take it. That's like if you holding on to the plow, you taking your pinky off. Now all of a sudden, you're not believing in the scriptures as the scriptures say. Now all of a sudden, you just slowly prying your hands off the plow. Yeah, because my whole deal is if the Gentiles can get salvation, don't they have to be paid back for slavery first? They got to receive double for what they did. Y'all should look up the Casual Killing Act. See, the white woman smiling at you, that's one of the deadliest things on the planet. She used to kill babies in their crib. And they passed laws to exonerate her rather than put her in prison. That's why I'm not swayed by white folks smiling at me. That's like a shark baring his teeth. Y'all got time for the Bible today? No, brother, you ain't got time for the Bible. Learn who you are. All right, man. I see the cross on your neck, man. You don't want to know Christ's real name? No? All right, man. You praying to Cesare Borgia, a white man. See, again, man, our people, they laugh it off, man, until real calamity strikes. And then you wonder why you cry out to God and nothing happens. Y'all ain't actually thought how all these niggas just appeared on the corner talking about the Bible and all of a sudden America done gone to shit. Y'all ain't put that together yet. The Israelites are waking up to their real God, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. We keeping the laws, and now all of a sudden America is basically on life support. See, and most people don't even know in about a week's time, we're going to start having sweeps of storms. They said they ain't seen nothing like it in 50 years. See, most of y'all don't know about the weather patterns either. That's why the Bible tells you not to be ignorant of any matter, great or small. See, the cold air during the season of basically outside of winter, depending on where you live, right? Because the further north you reside or the further south, the closer you are to the caps. And the caps are where all the cold air goes. You ever wonder why all of a sudden it's hot, 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 then cold? Where'd the cold air come from? It comes from the polar vortex that holds all that cold air at the caps. But there's a warming of the polar caps this year. And what that does is it displaces all that cold air. So you have waves of storms that sweep over the nation. And in about a week, we're about to start having those storms here in Texas. The jet stream is sweeping toward the south. And they're already saying that there might be an outbreak of tornadoes. Most of y'all don't even know. There was a tornado north of New Braunfels about a month ago. That last storm that swept through where we had hail.
Right.
Actually, there was another one that had hail in San Antonio. The one before that.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, wasn't
Yeah. The one before that. You had a tornado drop north of New Braunfels. That's where I live. See, most of y'all don't realize the storms are kicking up. All the flooding that's taking place in New York. See, most of y'all ain't, you're not plugged into that on your algorithm on YouTube. That's why you don't see it.
Even with that Melissa, that hurricane, it was Category 5, and then not too long after that, there was an earthquake that hit. I can't remember the magnitude of it, but it was like not too far off the coast of that.
Was it a 5?
I think it might have been something like that.
Yeah. Because, man, if they have a 6 or 7, you gonna hear about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High God is sending storms, tempests, and earthquakes. We're trying to tell our people, man, to wake up before these scourges for amendment, before they come see you. But let's keep going in 2nd Maccabees. Keep going. 6 and 6.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profane himself at all to be a Jew.
So our people were prohibited from being who they actually are, the Jews. We were forced to call ourselves Greeks. See, that's why when they teach you about Greco-Roman history, they show all white folks. Because they want you to believe that the white man got it out the mud and he does it better than you. When the white man hasn't built a single empire or civilization on the planet without slaves. And whenever he's been bereft of slaves, he's lived in the clefts of the rocks, in the caves. See, they don't tell you how the natural layout before they came here, the natives had already set up the aqueducts that they built on top of, all the waterways that they took advantage of. They don't talk about all the structures that they had already built. White man's going into slavery. Can't say it enough. And I cannot wait. Can't wait. Give me Revelations 13, 9 through 10. See, and these are the words of Jesus Christ.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
See, to my Northern Kingdom sisters who are walking with them white devils, you need to understand, you liking white folks ain't going to save them from their destiny. See, that's why they laugh at us, but in private, they definitely laugh at y'all, because y'all so foolish, you falling right behind them. Yeah, look at these dumb, I'm going to say it the way the white man said it. Look at these dumb wetbacks. We putting their kids in cages at the border, and they still talking about, oh, y'all our best friends. They say the same thing about us blacks. Look at you dumb niggas. Yeah, not only cooking my food, but you give me the recipe to your culture. So now, after I fire you, I can open up my own chain restaurant and sell the food that you taught me how to cook. Look at Jack Daniels. That's a recipe from a slave. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Church's Chicken. I can go down the list all damn day. All these damn barbecue restaurants open all over America, those are recipes from slaves. You know the tractor? It was invented by a slave named Joe Anderson. And it was taken by people that you know very well. You know, the people who make pepper, McCormick? Yeah, those guys. See, again, the white man, all he do is steal. And then he look at you like, what you mean? I didn't do that. See, that's when you bust that bubble and you let them know you ain't as great as you think you are.
Passed down from my grandpappy's grandpappy.
They always say, oh, it's been in my family for generations, or 10 generations. Yep. And on the first generation, he stole it.
Right.
That's like saying, I done had stolen property for 200 years. Well, good job. You gonna die for it.
Nothing about herbs and spices.
For real, don't know nothing about herbs, spices, and seasonings, and you want me to believe that you're the crux of culinary inventiveness here in America. Get out of here. But let's continue on to 2 Maccabees. There's more, right? Because I want you to give me 2 Maccabees 9 and 1 through 9. Because not only did they burn the Torah and penalize us for keeping the laws of God, but they outlawed us being who we actually are. Sounds a lot like what they did to us during slavery. Go ahead and get it.
2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 1. About that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. Now when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened unto Nicanor and to Timotheus. Then swelling with anger, he taught to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Therefore commanded he his chariotmen to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews.
So because this white man had failed in his military campaigns, he was fully resolved to come and destroy us completely. That's very similar to what happens in America whenever there's some type of ill fate that befalls America. All of a sudden, blame blacks and Hispanics. Look at the economic downturn of America. Who are they blaming right now? Blacks and Hispanics. Got time for the Bible, brother? Got time for the Bible? All right. See, that's something that has happened all throughout history. See, that's why we try to tell y'all when the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, that's literal. You thinking that the so-called white man just all of a sudden got it in his heart to put you in slavery within the last couple hundred years? He's been trying to put you in slavery. And whenever he's had an opportunity to do so, he has followed through on it.
Right.
See, that's why we're out here to tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that y'all are the people of the Bible. Y'all the Israelites.
That's right.
And the reason why your enemies keep subjugating you in slavery is because you will not keep God's laws. See, it's a shame, man. Our people will walk by, they'll give us dirty looks. They'll look at us like they're confused, but they'll never ask, hey, what are y'all doing out here? Because we would be happy to tell you.
What do you mean I'm a chosen child of God?
Yeah, what do you mean I'm an Israelite? What do you mean I have enemies? See, most of y'all don't inquire enough to know who your enemies are. That's why they prey on you, on the ill-advised of us. When you look at a lion hunt, they don't hunt the strongest buffalo. They hunt the buffalo that's limping and stupid. He's separated himself from his herd, and he's already slow. School bullies do the same thing. They pick on the kids that are least likely to be able to fight back. Well, your enemies, the heathen, do the same exact thing. Those of you who ain't reading, those of y'all who are not knowledgeable about who you are in your history, they prey on you. As soon as you stand up for yourself, all of a sudden, oh, I didn't mean nothing by it. See, I wish I could have some of our people stand here with us at camp and see some of the things that we go through. I've literally had Hamites from Africa admit that we're the Israelites, we're the real Jews, and that they are commonly taught it over on the continent of Africa. They are taught who the American Negro is. But see, most of our people, they don't have time. Y'all got time for the Bible today? I told you. Hey, I said that for a reason. I know, because when you call on God, he gonna be like, I ain't got time either. That's why I ain't got no man with you. I know. I don't need a man. Yep. That's what the black woman say. I don't need a man. Meanwhile, her life is falling apart. Most unmarried woman on the planet talking about she don't need a man. That's why y'all asses is so vulnerable. The other nations look at you like a gold mine. And here's the thing. These damn gay women be beating on each other and beating each other up. You'd assume with the man not in the equation, it would just be peace and tranquility. But the black woman can't hold herself accountable. She thinks she's perfect. That's why the white man says, good. You make an excellent right-hand man to white supremacy. See, I'm not going to stall you out when you act like a straight buffoon. That's why ain't no man with you. And you went gay because you can't get a man. Stop telling yourself you chose to go gay. You didn't have a choice. Black woman still ain't realized you butt naked right now. Twerking, doing everything sexual, and your man still don't want you. See, now every woman can get a BBL. Every woman can get breast augmentation. Every woman can get lip filler. So your physical assets are not what your man truly desired, because the black man is still trying to reach out to you black sisters. I'm going to be real. I don't know why we do it, because you're out of your minds. You're the only woman on the planet saying you don't need a man, and you're trapped in the damn hood because you don't have a man. And it's a shame they got a damn boy with them. So you know they raising another LGBTQ, HIV, a damn student. See, the black woman's so selfish, she'll harm her kids to make herself happy. She don't care. She does not care. But we read about our ancestors where the women were so resolute, they were willing to die rather than transgress God's laws. We just read about a sister, Mary Turner, who protested the lynching of her husband, which resulted in her being lynched while 8 months pregnant. But the black woman ain't got that type of resolve in her no more. That's gone. She's fully sold to be on Team White Man, Team Zag. That's why to you black brothers out here from the tribe of Judah and Benjamin and Levi, leave them behind. They don't want to get on the page of keeping God's laws. Leave their ass where they at. Yeah, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Project Pat had it right. See, and the black women don't even realize when 911 ain't working, whose door you think they kicking in first? See, again, you celebrate till there's a knock in the night, and then y'all over there bumping titties going, who gonna go out there? See, and it's a shame. Your kids have to suffer because of you. I said it before, I'll say it again. The black woman chooses her happiness over everyone at the cost of everyone. You want to know why the hoods are the way that they are? You're looking at it. A weave-wearing, hair-hatted hooligan is running our community. See, we got to start putting the blame where it's at. Stop cutting corners off of messages. Give me Sirach, chapter 25. See, the Bible says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Last time I checked, a female dog is a bitch. Give me that in the GNT as well. A shameless woman shall be counted as a bitch. This is Sirach 26 and 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. See, most of y'all women walking around, especially the black women, we know you as soon as you walk up. All we do is look at you. Your countenance, give it away. If you walk up half butt naked, with damn snuffleupagus eyelashes on, looking like you're trying to fly away and shit every time you blink. If you got a head full of weave, hair hat on, we already know what it is. See, we got to start calling a spade, man. We got to stop stalling our people out. We got to stop directing our attention to all these matters that don't require any attention. To you black, Hispanic, and Native American teachers in the house of Israel, your children don't even have fathers. I repeat, your children don't have fathers. Many of you grew up without your fathers. Our people are literally code blue. Like if you're in the hospital and you hear code blue, that means there's a patient somewhere whose heart needs to be resuscitated, or they're going to die on the table. Our people are coding, and we're still trying to go to the church like they need our help. Last time I checked, God don't dwell in temples made with hands. Our people don't need help in the church. And they damn sure don't need you covertly trying to teach while they're being fed a bunch of lies from a Christian pastor. Because you're not supposed to be building on another man's platform. You get it?
Let's bring up Sirach 26.
Just say, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, you'll find. And then just pull it in the GNT from there. See, we got to say this type of stuff to our sisters. I know it's harsh. So that's the tough love we should have gave our sisters in the 60s. When they were weighing their options of taking child support, Section 8, WIC, and TANF from the damn government. We should have just been straight up and brutal with them. This is in opposition to God's law. Yeah, it's 26, 25, it's a lot. And I'll read it in the KJV while you get it in the GNT. Right? This is Sirach 26 and 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Most of our women aren't afraid of nothing. They don't obey nothing. They embrace chaos, and then they cry out in anguish when chaos becomes their life. Especially when they have to bury their children. All of a sudden, how could God let this happen? Go ahead and get it.
Sirach 26 and 25 in the GNT. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
That's KBB.
That's KJV. Yeah. Yeah, KJV and
Self-willed woman.
yeah, self-will. There it is.
Sirach 26 verse 25 in the GNT. A self-willed woman is a bitch, but a woman with a sense of decency honors the Lord.
See, again, it's not personal. It's what the Bible says. See, the women of America especially, you've been taught that you are your own, you can do what you want to do. You're supposed to be trying to get a husband.
Right.
For a head, for protection, for provisioning, for spiritual leadership.
That Proverbs 31.
Yeah, that Proverbs 31 woman. That's the dream girl that everybody wants. Even if they don't know how to put it into words. That's the dream girl right there. Read Proverbs 31. It'll show you what you need to know. But see, when you're dealing with Black, Hispanic, Native Indian women, they say, hey man, ain't nobody over me but God. Give me the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man. See, again, man, the Bible lets you know how the natural order of things is supposed to be. And because we fight against the natural order, our whole entire community is destroyed. We're going to get back on the lesson, but we got a little bit more on this to get out.
First Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
So ain't nobody out here just doing what they want to do. The man got to answer to Christ. And if Christ came in the will of his Father, how you doing, sister? You an Israelite. Keep God's law. But if the head of the man is Christ, then that means we need to be doing everything Christ bid us to do. Give me Matthew 23 and 1, and we're going to get back on the lesson after that. Right, so if Christ is our head, what are we supposed to be doing as men?
Matthew chapter 23 verse 1. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not.
So we supposed to be doing everything that's written in the law and the prophets. So we supposed to keep the laws of God and teach our family to do likewise. And the woman is supposed to be answering to her husband the same way she answered to her boss at the job. See, I know that's real foreign to a lot of American women. That's why when the black man finally become a passport bro, he don't come back. Because when he meet a woman of another nation, they looking for a man to be their head. And when they find an honorable man who's willing to put forth all his effort to secure his family, they latch on with both hands and don't let go. That's why your man, after he meet them Filipino women, he don't look twice at you no more. And you sitting there going, but I got a 45-inch booty. What's going on? How come he want that woman from Thailand? Because she know how to be a woman, and you don't. It's real. See, it's simple. But let's get back on that second Maccabees real quick. Because we got more. Antiochus, the king, right? The tetrarch that's over the Israelites in this account. We're going to see him doing a lot of evil things. And one of the things that he has resolved himself to do in light of his failure in military campaigns, he has resolved himself to destroy the Israelites. Let's see what happens.
For some reason, that shit was brought popped in my head. Stop being strong and stay in the road. Know your road.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
9 and what?
We going 1 through 9, but I think we stopped on 4.
All right, 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 5. But the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts, and that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments.
So, soon as he resolved to destroy the Israelites and gave the order, the Most High God smote him with an incurable disease of the bowels. Now, if you read on, because we're not going to read all the details, I think we might get some of it.
Don't worry, stand back. I got this.
Yeah, because there are certain demons, certain heathen that are so oppressive and so wicked, the Most High God tends to them himself. That's why I always tell our people, don't make God have to judge you, because if God judges you, he gonna fuck you up completely. Right? So now you have the Most High God has smote him with an incurable disease. Let's see if the white man's going to turn from his wicked ways in this case.
Verse 7. Howbeit, he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass.
So instead of going, you know what, I was wrong about that, let me go ahead and back off that real quick. He resolved, he doubled down on it, like they say here in Texas. He doubled down. And he said, man, if you thought I was going to kill him before, I'm really going to ride on him now. So let's see what happens as a result.
Make him feel my pain.
But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pained. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea, so proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weighed the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground, and carried in a horse litter, showing forth unto all the manifest power of God.
Now, y'all know what a horse litter is. When a horse is walking, that little thing that catches all the horse shit, they have to improvise and carry him in one of those.
Yeah, I think the batteries in that. I think that's the same power, not by itself. That's
But they have to improvise and carry him in a horse litter. So, him being a king over his people, he got reduced to a cripple. All because of his pride.
carried back to shit.
Had to literally be carried back. And they don't even specify if it was used or not. Can you imagine that? You a king over your people riding high in your chariot. You fall off the chariot, and then you have to be carried back in horse manure.
Him being on a journey, I would think it was used. But
Hey,
hey, they had an extra.
That's what I'm saying. Being on a journey, it's like, hey man, you know that shit getting used. That's what the Most High God will do to you. That's why I be trying to tell people, man, especially our folks. Don't make God have to humble you. Don't make the Most High God have to do you like he did. I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. Right. But we see the recent changes that have happened in these camps, and certain leaders are now on hard times to the point where they're trying to invite debate from anybody to drum up some type of scandal and controversy so that they can get more attention and get more money. Don't make the Most High God do that to you. Have you panhandling on the internet, trying to have people join your chat. And when they gave that new doctrine, what were they saying? We'll debate anybody. We'll debate anybody. Nigga, we're not out here to debate. We're out here to do our job. We're out here to do our job, man. That spirit of debate, now we see where it leads. Eventually, it leads you to conceding things that you never thought possible. Yeah, now you're trying to say masses burning house. Oh, white people ain't bad. All white people ain't bad. I was not saying all of them now. Just some of them don't. But if you're telling me they got to keep the law to receive some, Gentile salvation, point me to a Gentile keeping the law. I'll wait. And then I'll point you to 2nd Ezra 3 and 36. Get that for me real quick. 3 and 36, where it says, Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Like I said, this shit ain't hard, man. This shit real simple. If you're dealing with somebody who can keep the precepts of the Most High God and understand the wisdom that's written in the scriptures, then you're not dealing with a heathen. You're dealing with an Israelite. That's why we evaluate by the Spirit, I thought. Everybody hyper-fixated on Paul until Paul says some real shit. And then all of a sudden we pretend like we confused again. But go ahead and get it.
2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
So again, if you're telling me that there's a heathen out there that's keeping all the laws, statutes, and commandments, doing it better than an Israelite, you ain't dealing with a heathen. You're dealing with another Israelite. You're dealing with one of the speckled bird Israelites that have been scattered, and they're trying to come home. Y'all got time for the Bible? Got time for the Bible, sir? All right. Tu eres Israelita. Right? Y'all the Israelites. I say it all the time. Animals and children know where to get the truth at in the spirit. They know better. They always make an effort to stay near the Bible. Why the adults never take the cue, I don't know. They never take the cue. The shit is crazy. But see, when misfortune befalls them, all of a sudden, God, why? Because you hard-headed and stupid. Because if you don't have the edicts of God, the wisdom from the Most High through his law, statutes, and commandments, you are stupid. This is your wisdom in the sight of the nations, Jake. Deuteronomy 4 and 5 tells you that. I know. She was doing everything she could to guide her parents to stick around. And they were doing everything they could to leave. See, again, I say it all the time. To you Israelites who have children and don't want to hear the law, statutes, and commandments of God, you ain't just condemning yourself. You're condemning your children. But see, you got to understand, a servant that's knowledgeable of the will of their master will be beaten with many stripes. But the servant that is unknowingly breaking the will of their master shall be beaten with few. So you parents are bringing a greater damnation on yourselves by trying to condemn your children through your ignorance. But let's keep going in that 2nd Maccabees. You got it? 9 and no, it's 9 and and 9. Yeah.
The 2nd Maccabees chapter 9, verse 9. So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man, and whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army.
And that's all we need. So the Most High God created the first living zombie that ever existed. His flesh was falling from his body, and worms came out of his flesh. That's the type of petulance or pestilence, right? Because, Words are similar, right? Phonetic. But that's the type of pestilence the Most High God can put on you. Not only did his flesh rot, he smelled the part too. Amen. It got so bad, if you read down, that it says his men actually, like, he had a wide berth. They didn't want to be around him. See, that's why we be trying to tell our people, man, don't make the Most High God slap you with a curse. Don't make him do that. But if you insist on doing everything your way, the Most High God, he will put the spurs to you, and you will receive your judgment. But, brother, can you go to verse 13 and read? Oh, we're going to be here for a while. We're going 13 to 28, because this is going to illustrate the parallel torments that are the steps of, our tormentor here in America. So now you see King Antiochus being persecuted by the judgment of the Most High God. Let's see how he responds.
Verse 13, this wicked person vowed also unto the Lord, who now no more would have mercy upon him, saying thus, that the holy city, to which he was going in haste to lay it even with the ground, and to make it a common burying place, he was set at liberty. And as touching the Jews, whom he had judged not worthy, so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children, to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he would make them all equals to the citizens of Athens.
So he did a complete 180. Now that he's smitten with all this hardship, this disease, now all of a sudden he realized, oh shit, the God of the Jews, he's real. So how about this? Let me go ahead and I'm going to back off my military campaign, and I'm going to give them citizenship in Athens. So he went from trying to kill all the Jews to make them citizens. Right. Ain't that what the white man doing right now? Now that all the food in the fields is rotten, now all of a sudden he wants to hire you to go pick the food. Now he wants to pay you a day's wage that you can live off of, huh? Hey, don't y'all want to come out here and, man my farms and my ranches? But see, it's too late. The Most High God is putting it in the heart of his people to not fall prey to his dainties and his gifts.
Right.
Look at Venezuela. Venezuela was extended a whole bunch of deals for America to come in there and get that oil. But the Venezuelan government, led by Nicolas Maduro, he insisted, y'all can come in here, but we retain ownership. We are not letting y'all own a damn thing here. We're letting you come and basically drill here, but it will be with our resources. So at any time, we can cut you off and kick you out. Right. And because of that, America is now fully resolved to go in there and lay that ground level and make it a common burying place for the Venezuelans.
Sounds like what Bush did.
Yeah, sounds exactly like what Bush did in the Middle East with Saddam Hussein. But see, now that Iran has those missiles, all of a sudden, let us be friends. See, the Iranian government, they already rejected all the friendly proposals from America.
Boss ass motherfuckers. Friends.
See, they already know what the game is. Because soon as the white man get in your country, he ain't leaving. Right. That's when he all of a sudden go, I'm not going to play by the rules now. You can't make me. But see, we see that right here. Now that King Antiochus is being stricken with affliction, now all of a sudden, now y'all are my friends. Let's keep reading.
Verse 16, and the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would garnish with goodly gifts, and restore all the holy vessels with many more, and out of his own revenue defray the charges belonging to the sacrifices.
So now it's not even required for the Israelites to partake in the Feast of Bacchus. He's putting the holy relics back in the temple, and he's adding some of his own. Now he's trying to undo all the damage that they did. 'Cause he's like, I'll do anything to save myself. Not glorify God, just to save himself. And you're going to see that at the end of this. Keep going.
Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself.
Hey man, you can't make this shit up, bro. He resolved to become a Jew himself. He wanted to be Judaized. We see that in the book of Esther, when the Israelites were permitted by, I believe, King Ahasuerus or Artaxerxes when they were permitted to defend themselves and they laid low all the kingdoms who were rising up against them, they became Judaized.
Right.
That's one of the first instances of Judification happened in the Bible. It's in the book of Esther.
So can't be joined.
Yeah, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. See, they ain't the first people who basically tried to cleave unto the Israelites. King Antiochus ain't the first one. You see it in the book of Ezra. You see the heathen trying to help us build the temple and restore Jerusalem, only to be told you don't have anything to do with us to build a house unto our God. See, we're bringing this out just to show you how this parallels today. Now the white man says we're all brothers. Well, hey, we all bleed red. We're Americans. Well, we all bleed red. And then, hey, do the Pledge of Allegiance with us. Hey, wasn't it just a couple of decades ago they were doing that amnesty, that rainbow amnesty shit, where they made it real easy to become an American citizen if you were a foreigner, only to revoke birthright citizenship for the children that you had in this nation, and not only kick you out who became a citizen, but your kids who were born here. See, that's why you don't take the white man's deals, because he never means them. It's a tool of convenience. And at the first opportunity to abuse you again, he'll take it. Keep going.
Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself, and go through all the world that was inhabited, and declare the power of God. But for all this, his pains would not cease, for the just judgment.
You got a white man looking real confused at us, like we ain't talking about him. You gonna get it when you go into slavery. Why does she keep cutting off? He gonna get it when they in slavery. See, again, any confusion gonna be straightened out when you hear that crack over your back with that whip. And you gonna realize you ain't here to think, you here to work. See, it ain't gonna set in until what they've done to others is done to them, and then they gonna realize how horrible it was. That's when the white man gonna be like, "Oh, I'm real sorry." See, all this, these fake apologies, they don't mean nothing right now, because he don't understand what it's like to suffer what he's done. See, he's always been holding the whip. He ain't never been at the end of one that's cracking. But see, when he's forced to be in that condition, he's going to come to understand what he's done to everyone else. And that's when true remorsefulness will take hold of him. Only to realize that God don't give a fuck. And I'm saying it the way the Bible says it. God didn't take away Antiochus' pain because he did all these good gestures. These insincere gestures of goodwill. The Most High God is not dissuaded. When you're in hardship and all of a sudden you want to make up for lost opportunities. The Most High God is like, no, you made your choice. Now suffer.
Trying to dance now. It's too late.
Go ahead and keep going, brother.
Verse 18. But for all this, his pains would not cease, for the just judgment of God was come upon him.
No, read 17. We didn't finish it. Yeah. I want to get that whole thing.
Yeah, we finished it.
Then we read only part of it. Because when he went throughout the world and tried to preach, we didn't get that part.
Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself, and go through all the world that was inhabited, and declare the power of God.
Those of y'all saying Gentile salvation, what would stop Antiochus from becoming an Israelite and joining a camp? If genociding God's children don't stop him, what's stopping any of these crackers out here? I'm just curious. I got questions. But in the meantime, keep reading.
But for all his pains would not cease, for the just judgment of God was come upon him. Therefore, despairing of his health, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwritten, containing the form of a supplication after this manner. Antiochus, king and governor, to the good Jews, his citizens, wisheth much joy, health, and prosperity.
You can't even read it with a straight face. It's so insincere.
Right.
Now he's pinning a message to the Israelites, wishing us good tidings and health and joy after bringing death, pain, and misery.
Wanting to run you down.
Wanting to make the damn ground level with the footsteps of his troops and his horses, to make our land a common burying place unto us. He went from that to, hey guys, how you doing? I'm real concerned about you. Miss seeing you. Ain't that what your boss say at the job? If you're more important than they let on? All of a sudden you want to quit. They're like, well, let's not get hasty, guys. Can't we talk this out? After he been doing dirt to you for years. Now all of a sudden, let's talk. You got time for the Bible, sister? Damn, that's a shame. Why you going to church if you dating a white man? You might as well just leave the church. You didn't hear me? I said, why go to church if you're going? I can show you in the Bible. No, you haven't. What's Revelation 13:9-10 say, sister? Cooning will not save you. I repeat, cooning will not save you. And see, that's the black woman who stand beside you going black power. Meanwhile, she got a white husband. Shut up. Don't nobody care, sister. Shut up. And it shows nobody cares she ran to the damn white man. Instead of just learning how to be a sensible black woman and marry a black man. Hell, marry an Israelite. You got 12 flavors to choose from. Oh, I know she said it proudly because the white man, he's in power here in America. But I don't know if you've noticed, America ain't doing so well. See, the same way you can't afford your groceries, the white man can't afford his either. The same way you can't pay your rent is the same way he can't pay his either. I know, brother, I rejoice, man, all praise. It's about time these damn devils got a taste of their own medicine. See, all of us ain't coons. Some of us black, Hispanic, and Native American men are still warriors. We still love our people, and we're willing to lay our lives down for our people. But to you coons, death and destruction to you. You want to choose your enemy and bear his children and reinforce his ranks? Death to you. Enough cutting corners. If you can't find it in your spirit to love your own people and defend your own people, go die. Give me Isaiah 13:14 real quick. I say it all the time. I'm the one brother who will not let you be a coon. I will not let you. I don't give a fuck if you're 7'8" and weigh 500 pounds. I don't care. Before you crush me in your hand, I'm going to call you a coon. Go ahead and get it.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
This is talking about race wars for those of y'all who don't speak Bible. For those of y'all who didn't follow along, that was Isaiah 13:14-15. It's not hard, y'all. The Bible tells you not to link up with your enemies because in times of war and upheaval, your enemies turn on you because they never became your friends. See, I know most of you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you look at us like we're crazy, but you're crazy to think you're at home here in America. See, the same way the white man called black youth super predators in the 90s is the same way the white man calls our Native Hispanic brothers aliens on their own land in the 2020s. Nothing has changed. No, we're going to stick with the lesson today. Right? Because it's important. There's something happened with our community. So we need to bring this message out the way it's intended. Because this whole idea of miscegenating to get out of the curses. See, my whole deal is that sister so proud to have a white man. Tell me about when he called you a nigga. Because I know he has. Tell me about the times that he told you, hey, stop bringing up your people all the time. I'm tired of hearing about that. Hey, tell me about the time when he beat your ass. Because if you think you think the black man gonna put hands on you, the white man sees you as a physical equal. And guess what? Biology shows that as well. The black woman's bone density is the highest bone density out of all women. But the white man's bone density is the highest, or it's the lowest out of all men. But it's still higher than a black woman's. So you are literally his contemporary physically. Why do you think he wants to wrestle you and beat you up? But yet when a black man comes around, he puts his head down, he's sheepish. Especially if that black man looks like he's his physical parallel, like height and weight. He ain't trying to have no smoke with that. See, those of y'all who didn't see that press conference with Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis weigh about 170 pounds. Jake Paul weigh about 230 something. And because Gervonta Davis said he wasn't going to follow the script and take a bribe and take a dive, Jake Paul called the fight off. And another coon swooped in to take it, Anthony Joshua. For those of y'all who don't know who Anthony Joshua is, that motherfucker is built like a monster. He's like 6'7", 6'8". And he's about to take a dive to Jake Paul. But see, the thing is, Gervonta Davis showed if you take the fight itself, you've already signed up to take the dive. That's why Mike Tyson took a dive. And that's why Floyd Mayweather, in the contract for him, it had to be a no contest or a draw. Or a decision. It had to be a decision. But you can also hear Jake Paul during the fight saying, take it easy, champ, it's an exhibition. He had to remind him, hey, don't knock me out now. If you knock me out, I'm keeping the money. I know we got off the list a little bit. We had a coon walk by. You know what I'm saying? But we see here the white man in 2 Maccabees 9, all of a sudden he's riding onto the Israelites, wishing us the best. Didn't take long. And see, our stupid-ass black sisters who run and jump in the white man bed don't understand he using you as a tool. Whether it's to satisfy his fetish or to just have more children, because he knows it don't matter if the kids come out looking like Wesley Snipes. That's his seed. And they are what their father is. And y'all all know it. Some mulatto kid in the hood got a white daddy. And he always weird. He don't quite fit. He faking the funk all the time. He want to do all the things the other kids doing, but he can't play basketball. He suck at sports. He trying his hardest. But what if you got an Irish daddy and you don't notice a difference? But if you know the history of the Irish, you know a lot of them are Israelites. I say that because of Andre Ward. His father is Mickey Ward. Actually, I think it's the brother of Mickey Ward. Yeah, the famous boxer. Yeah. Yeah, his father's Irish. Redhead Irish, too. See, there's a reason why all this shit coming out now about redheads and black folks. That's because we are the same people in a lot of cases, not all cases. See, that's why knowing the history of Europe is very important. The Huguenots, all these different things. See, if you don't know this stuff, when you say the Bible's written by a white man, King James, you don't understand what you're talking about. Because the original Highlanders are described as a swarthy, dark-skinned people. But I digress, y'all. Let's get back on this lesson, right? Keep going.
2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 20. If ye and your children fare well, and your affairs be to your contentment, I give very great thanks to God, having my hope in heaven. As for me, I was weak, or else I would have remembered kindly your honor and goodwill returning out of Persia, and being taken with grievous disease. I thought it necessary to care for the common safety of all.
All right. So we're going to move forward a little bit because you already see what's going on. He's trying to butter up the Israelites so that we can pray to the Most High God on his behalf. Right? Because he understands that he can't just pray to the Most High God to remediate this disease. He has to ask God's children to do it. Y'all got time for the Bible today? Thou says. But brother, can you skip to... Yeah, skip to 26.
Verse 26. Therefore I pray and request you to remember the benefits that I have done unto you generally, and in special, and that every man will be still faithful to me and my son. For I am persuaded that he, understanding my mind, will favorably and graciously yield to your desires.
So, this tyrant, after murdering thousands of our people, is literally saying, remember all the good shit I did for you. You know how the white man say, I gave you a job. Then I made sure you had food in your stomach when you were a slave. Nothing ever changed. And we just had a sister proud to have one of them devils in her bed. Probably need to get checked for lice. Because you know they have lice season every summer. See, they don't tell you about that shit either. Because when they get home away from y'all, they stop bathing. It is what it is. See, most people don't even realize when the white man came here, that's when lice, fleas, cockroaches, pigs, all that shit came.
side instead of in between two vehicles. That's just dumb as shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got all that fucking space over there. Hell, you could even park right over there.
I told you, man, you can't make it up, bro. This is what happens when you don't got wisdom, man. You be trying to shove the damn square peg through the round hole and be mad when it don't work. I just park in the open spaces. I don't know what y'all doing. Right there. You can park on the other side. That's open.
They want that spot.
And they want it so bad. I know. Just don't hit my car, please. But anyway,
Yeah, that's just dumb as hell.
yeah, it's the epitome of stupidity. But, brother, can you get me 2 Maccabees 7 and 1 through 2? And while that brother gets that, I want to remind our people of the Greek conversion that occurred under John Hyrcanus circa 140 BC, right? Where we forced the Greeks, after throwing off the yoke of bondage, to convert to Judaism and try to keep the laws of the Bible. That ended up backfiring in our face.
Right.
And then we went into slavery to the Romans. See, again, man, our people learn slow, and as a result, we keep going into slavery to the same devils over and over and over again. Because we keep trying to save them. Why we keep trying to save people who think rape, robbery, and murder and taking control of somebody else's land and then trying to be friends after doing it, why we keep trying to save them, I don't understand. But we keep doing it.
Sick in the head.
It's a spiritual affliction that Israel can't shake. But, brother, I just wanted to make that point about the Greeks, and we gonna grab a quick book. I don't think I have it, so go ahead and read that 2 Maccabees 7 and 1 through 2. Real quick.
2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the law of our fathers.
So what you have here in this chapter is you have a mother and her 7 sons. And this is some of the exploits of King Antiochus, where he literally is going to kill, or not just kill, but torment, boil, flay, cut the skin off of a mother and 7 of her sons.
Right.
But we see here that they're resolved to die rather than to transgress the laws. We're going to skip forward a little bit to get some of the main parts. Get me verses 11 through 19. Go ahead and hit it.
2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 11. And said courageously, These I had from heaven, and for his laws I despised them, and from him I hope to receive them again, insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pains. Now, when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, It is good being put to death by men, to look for hope from God to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Afterward they brought the 5th also, and mangled him. Then looked he unto the king, and said, Thou hast power over men, thou art corruptible, thou dost what thou wilt, yet think not that our nation is forsaken of God. But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee, and thy seed,
And who?
and thy seed,
One more time.
and thy seed.
So if he's going to torment the king and his seed, where's the room for them to repent and receive salvation?
Right.
I'm sorry, I have questions. See, again, that's the dangerous part about saying like, oh, the Gentile salvation, not a lot, just a little. Well, who are you talking about? Because everybody can pretend to keep the laws for a short period. That's not hard at all. Not to mention, we currently don't have a temple. So all the traveling, all the priestly duties, all those things are suspended. So now it's just if somebody keeps the dietary laws, wears fringes, and keeps the Sabbath as far as you know, you would have no way of discerning if they keep the laws of God or not beyond those things for the most part. Just showing face. Y'all got time for the Bible today? All right, I'll tell you. They might have just got it though. You know how it go. I know you truck drivers, man. Y'all be driving on this, man. Like, shit, you see how I park that trailer, nigga? Yeah. Like, nigga, I don't drive trucks, man. But you see here in this account, in 2 Maccabees 7, you know what I'm saying? The sons of this mother are saying it the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the salvation of the Israelites, the heathen are going to be tormented. Because they put so many torments on God's children. See, and they laugh now, not understanding. That's why America fucked up. And every day it gets worse. And that's why y'all begging the same people that y'all kicked out 6 months ago to come back. Because you realize winter is coming and you ain't got no crops. Now you crying about buying an orange for $2 an orange. When that's your fault. The Most High God actually gave you a pretty bountiful crop this year. Too bad you weren't smart enough to have them pick it before you fired them and sent them away. But that's what happens when you're a heathen bereft of knowledge. Right. You'll cut your own nose off to spite your enemies. That's why we're telling you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to return unto your people, return unto your God, and keep God's commandments. His ways are not grievous. They're not hard. Right. You keep most of them anyway. You just don't know what they are. But, keep going, brother.
Verse 18, after him also they brought the six, who being ready to die said, be not deceived with cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us. But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against God, that thou shalt escape unpunished. But the mother was marvelous and above all, and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain with the space of one day, she bare it with good courage, because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courage, courageous spirits, and stirred up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. She said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you. But doubtless the Creator of the world, who formed the generation of man, and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
So you have an Israelite mother telling her sons to die like courageous men. Right. And she's showing courage that would make the modern man look like a damn kitten. She didn't say, hey, let me go get a white man real quick and see if we can get some better judgment. Right. See, again, that's why I don't stall anybody out, because the Most High God requires us all to be courageous. He requires us all to keep his commandments, even at the threat of death or the deliverance of death. See, your enemies aren't just threatening to kill you, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. A lot of times they mean it. And even in the face of imminent death, you're still supposed to stand in your post. Right. Stand in your lot and keep God's commandments. So I'm going to tell you, that's the only way you're going to make it. If it was required of a mother and her 7 sons, why would it not be required of you today? And things are far more lax right now than they were under King Antiochus. See, again, that's why I had that sister who had that white man. Had she have had enough sense to stand here and just listen to this account, she would be able to see, like, hey, ain't nothing changed. And she listened to the account of Antiochus getting sick and all of a sudden doing a 180. She would realize why her white snuggle buddy at home is now friendly with her and wants to have her as a bed witch. Right. He would understand, oh, okay, it's for a utility, it's for a reason, for something that basically he can exploit. She would understand that. But because she's a willing exploitee, he's going to be a willing exploiter. He's not going to be dissuaded from taking advantage of her simply because she's naive and innocent to who she is, or just ignorant. Because some of our people ain't naive and innocent. They just ignorant and stupid and stubborn and stiff-necked. But let's finish this up so we can move on.
Verse 24. Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised, and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the young was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend, and trust him with affairs.
Uh-oh, we see Antiochus being Antiochus. All of a sudden now, to get him to comply, he's promising him riches. This is after killing 3 or 4 of his brothers. But now he's promising riches beyond his wildest imagination to make him a very happy man, if only he would comply. How about your movie stars who get popped in the butt so that they could be a AAA actor or actress? How about these rappers who have to put on dresses? You remember that rapper a couple of years ago? He was giving fellatio to an M16 in his rap video while in a wedding dress. See, again, you see all these things, all these rituals happening before your eyes, not understanding this has been happening since time immemorial. How you doing, Kate? You got time for the Bible today? Thou says, sisters, no time for the Bible.
We make our own time.
Oh, what's that mean? Is that between going to the buffet and going to church or what? I'm sorry, I just don't understand. I have a question. Ain't the first time you said that to a black man. That's why you're a coon. See, again, I'm not swayed by a black woman having an attitude. You know, for being black and angry. Actually, let me correct that. Fat, black, and angry. See, again, the black woman's the most unmarried woman on the planet, and then she wonders why. See, again, I'm not pulling any punches because my sister needs correction, and she needs to understand it's because of your attitude. For real, the black man has been lynched, burned, and butt broken. You think your middle finger does anything? Ain't nobody scared of you, black woman. Everybody's just annoyed by you. That's why everybody's trying to get away from you. And the white man reminding you he ain't your friend either. He just fired a bunch of y'all black asses. See, again, we have to remind our people. It don't matter if you're a man or a woman. Wake up and return to your people. Talking about you make time. What does that mean? Yeah, we make our own time. Knowing that you ain't read the Bible seriously since you were forced to when you were a kid. Because if I ask you what tribe you come from in the Bible, you don't know. If I ask you how to keep the Sabbath, you don't know. So why lie? But see, if we were white men, we would have got 30 times more respect. See, we got to be real about it. The white man completely has the black woman under his sway. And she loves to have it so, because she thinks that makes her somebody here in Babylon. Meanwhile, you look like a damn clown. One walking around 120 pounds overweight, the other one looking like the damn Joker with her hair painted red. Yeah, I don't know why she was wearing that little low skirt, offending everybody's eyeballs. Cover that shit up. See, it ain't enough people saying the things that need to be said. Ain't nobody supposed to be walking around half butt naked. But the black woman ain't got the memo yet. And as a result, more times than not, she trained her daughters to do the same thing. You see these videos of the black women teaching their sons to twerk now? Oh yeah, they're all over social media. They'll have a twerk line, starting with the mother, going to the daughters, and then it'll finish off with the sons. And don't let it be a mother and her sons. I saw one, it was just 3 boys twerking with their mom. Damn travesty. And then they got to say, the nerve to say the black woman is God. I mean, it's an absolute travesty what's going on in our community, and nobody will say anything about it. Hey, you looking like what? You looking like Dane Damas? I mean, my whole deal is like whenever you actually speak realism to the black woman, that's where all of a sudden you get all this attitude. Me saying that the black woman is the most unmarried woman on the planet, that's not hyperbole, that's not imaginative. It's literal. Okay. All right. No, you still not supposed to have blonde hair in your head, sister. That's in the Bible. I know you don't care just like you didn't care now. I know. I didn't ridicule you. I corrected you according to the Bible. Want to hear it? We can read it to you. And on that note, gotta go. Get that a blonde thin hair real quick. As long as she's standing here arguing, I'm gonna read the Bible. I don't give a damn what you got to say. We tired of hearing y'all asses. Be quiet. The black woman needs to take a note from the women all over the earth and be quiet. Fall in line with your man and stop talking back all the damn time. Get in order. That's why you're not married and ain't nobody looking for you. Yep, that's why you by yourself now. Go ahead and get it.
Leviticus chapter 13, verse 30. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be it in a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or beard.
That blonde hair indicates leprosy. But our women are too dumb and too stubborn to understand that. And then you wonder why our neighborhoods are completely destroyed. The black woman is the only woman on the planet saying she don't need her man. Our Hispanic sisters ain't doing that today, man. The Native Indian woman ain't doing that today, man. They might drink themselves to death on the reservation, but she ain't trying to get away from her family. The black woman is the only one who thinks moving up is moving out. Dumb as hell. And they ain't got the nerve to run back like she calling on the black Avengers after the white man do her dirty, like we told her he would. Yeah, all the stuff that we've gone through as a people because our woman won't be faithful to her family. And we still got to scream at our woman as loud as we can to wake up. While she running headlong into the white man's arms where he gonna destroy her a little bit more. See, and again, that black woman, she came over here to get the last word. I already know why she came over here. See, she thought it was a personal attack when I said not to have that blonde hair in her head. It's biblical. See, our women don't understand. God holds you to a higher standard than you hold yourself to. You're supposed to be in modest apparel. So me roasting you about having your super tank ass out, that's biblical. You deserve it. You deserve to be ridiculed. You deserve it. See, we're trying to get our people back in order so that we can be a nation again. Perfect. See, we're trying to get our people back on the same page so we can come to love one another. I'm tired of burying my loved ones before they even reach a fraction of their potential. I'm tired of having to bury my elders and they ain't even had a chance to teach nobody because they never knew anything. I'm sick of it. But as long as a black woman is running the hood, as long as she's in charge, man, we ain't gonna learn shit, ain't gonna be able to teach shit, we ain't never gonna improve. But let's go ahead and keep going. Where we at? Did you read down to 19? Where you at? Oh, 28, slot. 27, and then we're going to 20. Hold on 1 second. All right, so actually we could have just read 11 through 19. So, actually, yeah, go ahead and finish. 28, 29.
Verse 28, I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth and all that is therein, and consider that God made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but, being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren.
I'm going to read that next verse, because the young man does something very courageous.
While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment. but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses.
The young man said, hey man, what y'all waiting on, man? Let's get this shit going. Do me like you did my brother so I could be reunited with them. Now, if you read to the end of the chapter, the mother and all the sons are put to death. And they all die courageously for the laws of God. Fast forward to today, you have to beg and plead with blacks and Hispanics to keep even the simplest of God's laws. Even though the kingdom of heaven has been promised to them. See, we have to plead with the most hard-headed people on the planet so that they can receive the kingdom. Meanwhile, you got these heathen over here talking about they gonna get salvation. Salvation from what and who? I would really like to know. Yourself? Ain't no saving you from the evil that is yourself. Shit, the Most High God created you to be crooked. But anyway, brother, can you give me Exodus 34 and 4 through 7? Because the Most High God reserves judgment unto the seed of the oppressor, unto the sons. See, so for all you Israelites talking about, oh man, Gentile salvation, it's just not all of them, a few of them. Okay, well, where's what's their track record? Where's the track record that shows that they're worthy of it? And we about to prove that. Go ahead and get it.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 4. And he hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning, and went up onto Mount Sinai, as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. And the Lord descended in the cloud, and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of the Lord. And the Lord passed by before him, and proclaimed, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will be no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and to the 4th generation.
That's one of the reasons why that the heathen are not allowed to come into the congregation until the 3rd generation. That's one of the reasons. Because they still got penance to pay. Now, what if they've had, dare I say, thousands of years of enslaving, raping, robbing, and displacing the Israelites? Then that means all that iniquity has to be paid back. And what if that iniquity, the penalty for it, what if that iniquity and the penalty for it has been doubled? Then who are you to say who's going to get saved and who's not? You got to work that out with the Most High. The Most High God is going to let you know who deserves mercy. You don't have to worry about that. I say it all the time. We ain't going to be running no damn torture camps in the kingdom of God. What are you talking about? For those of y'all who think all you're going to be doing in the kingdom is beating your slaves upside the back, you got the wrong idea about what Christ was talking about in Revelations 2 and 26. You got the wrong idea. You're going to have greater and better things to do than to just beat your servants and browbeat them all day. Day in and day out. You have a whole entire kingdom to enjoy. You got loved ones that you finally going to be able to see. Yeah, I think those batteries are bad. I got more of them. Yeah. I came back on. Man, what is going on with this thing, man? But you're going to have way more to do than to just subjugate and torture people. See, again, that's the thing that the heathen love to do to you. That's why we seem to be so stuck on it, because we've learned their ways. Right. Not understanding that the Most High God is holding us to a higher standard. But, you read down to what? What verse? Yeah, read 7. Yeah, just read 7. No, 7.
Verse 7. Keeping mercies for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, and that will be no means clear the guilty.
By no means clear the guilty.
By no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation.
I had the brother read it again because Notice it says, by no means will it clear the guilty. So if you're guilty of oppressing God's children, you turning over a new leaf does not exonerate you. You all of a sudden saying, hey, I'm sorry for realsies this time, does not exonerate you. That's why I try to tell my brothers that I have influence over. Don't reach beyond your station. Stay in your lane. The Most High God will have mercy on whom he will have mercy. And the Edomites are going into slavery, and they're going to be rendered extinct. And the planet will be better for them. See, again, the Most High God put it on his own name that the sons of Esau have to be extinguished. So who are we to all of a sudden go, whoa, some of the good ones going to be hanging around? See, again, some of y'all are going to brand yourselves enemies of God just because you can't stomach the judgment that the heathens have to suffer. That's why I say, mind your business. They didn't give a damn about you when you were in slavery. And to the few that did, don't worry, the Most High God knows who they are. He got it. You know that song in the Christian church, God's got it, and all that other shit. If y'all so determined to get to the Christian church, why don't y'all take that one? God's got it. Not Jesus on the main line telling what you want. Because what you want is immaterial to the designs of God. Most High God says somebody got to go, they got to go. And the reason why I'm talking about Esau with specificity is because he's the only nation who's been given no space of repentance, no mercy. Why? Because they gave no space of mercy to anyone else.
Right.
And not to mention, it's because that was God's will from the beginning. And if you acknowledge them as the spiritual descendants of Cain, you know that mark of Cain that we always talk about, that people know as soon as you see it, pale skin more than likely. If you acknowledge that they're the spiritual descendants of Cain, then that means Cain should have been put to death for murdering his brother. So that means all of Cain's children from there are already forfeit. He never should have had kids. Most High God got you trapped up already. Again, his ways are not your ways, and his thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And that's why so many of you niggas, after you get pumped up with knowledge, all of a sudden, you start wrestling with the scriptures. Find yourself in opposition to the Most High because you think you're smarter than the scripture. And the Most High God takes the crafty in their own devices. And now you tripping over the damn doorway to the truth when you used to stride right past it like it didn't exist. You could jump a mountain, but you can't walk over a doorway without falling over your own feet. That's what's happening to some of y'all. All because you've been puffed up with knowledge. Brother, get me Deuteronomy 7 and 1 through 10. Right? Because the Most High God is not giving mercy unto those who hate him. Again, that's why I asked the question. I asked it somewhat facetiously and rhetorically, but now I ask it in all honesty and earnestly. Where are all these law-keeping heathen? If loving God means keeping his commandments, where are all these commandment-keeping heathen? Where are they?
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
Now I understand this is talking about the Canaanites and the other Hamitic tribes. However, we see that this knowledge, this wisdom should have been, or it is extended to all the other tribes because they have turned us away from following the Most High God. If you research our presence in China, you will see that Confucianism found us. The Jesuit priests went all the way to China to search out our people and to condition them to believe in Confucianism. And they turned our hearts from following the Most High God. When you look at our people in the so-called Middle East, how they have a predilection toward Islam. Our hearts were turned away from following the Most High, even if it was at the threat of death, because that's how Muhammad did it. Convert or die, you supposed to choose death. We already saw in the book of Maccabees. See, I know some of y'all go, why y'all reading all that? So that we can buttress what we gonna teach. You supposed to choose death before dishonor. The white man didn't come up with that. You did.
Right.
Because your God told you that's how you're supposed to live. But most of you choose dishonor in favor of hardship, not even death. Some of our people just facing the loss of a job. They get to spit shine in the white man's shoes. Don't even take long. See, we're supposed to be serving the Most High God unto death. And we're not supposed to be making marriages with these heathen because they're going to turn our hearts from following him.
Right.
You can't tell me you believe in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach and you married to a damn Chinese woman who's saying that she's going to be a slave. Unless you have her get real familiar with the story of Ruth. And she's okay with all of it, including Ruth having to give up her baby.
Right.
See, everybody, like, they had the nerve to say Ruth was one of those Israelites, or one of those heathen that got saved. Not understanding, Ruth didn't get saved. Ruth became the wife and primary consort of an Israelite, and then had to give up the baby that she had.
Right.
How y'all kings doing today? Doing all right. Y'all got time for the Bible?
I did earlier this morning. I had my medication.
Just know if y'all fathers are black men, y'all are from the tribe of Judah, all right? Keep God's laws, y'all. See, again, when we say Gentile salvation, they just being saved for slavery, man. They got to pay for what they've done to God's people. And it's not going to be forever. They going to serve their penance, and all the heathen going to go home, except for one group, and that's the Edomites. Why all of a sudden at the finish line, we trying to change that up? And I'm going to tell you, I'm not teaching Gentile salvation. Straight up. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I patently refuse. I'm just putting it out there. So anybody who watches this video, I don't care what camp you're with. I'm not down with it. At all. It does not bear out in the scriptures, and it invalidates the promises of the Most High.
Right.
But keep going, brother.
Verse 5, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
Keep going to 10.
But because the
It'll come back on. You do it one more time, I'm going to replace the battery.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with the mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of the Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
So the Most High God keeps his covenant to 1,000 generations to them that love him. But to those, yeah, I'm gonna play that. Man, I knew it, man. I thought those batteries were brand new, man. I thought they were new, man. Apparently not. I got some more in here. I got it. Yeah. But to those who hate the Most High God, the Most High God is going to pay them back according to their works. See, again, if you love the Most High God and you keep his commandments, then the Most High God ain't got no problem with you, even if you a heathen. But the thing is, though, you as an individual, you still going into captivity with your people. You ain't getting no salvation. Salvation is not being in the hands of your enemies. I thought we read Luke 1 and 68 all the time. Part of salvation is to be delivered from the hand of your enemies. How are they being saved when they're being delivered into your hands as a servant or a slave? I'll wait. I'll wait. And not to mention Leviticus 25, even if a heathen so-called receives salvation, I could take him as a slave, a bondservant, if I so wish. And then his children belong to me forever, according to Leviticus 25. So is he now exempt from that law? See, it's the little things that you quickly come into contrast with, conflict with, when you're trying to be greater than your station. Give me the laws of God are plain unto the righteous and stumbling blocks. You could just look up plain unto the righteous and stumbling blocks. Right, because see, it's the simple things of the law that are easy to understand if your heart is perfect toward the Most High. I'm not saying that I am perfect, but I will give every drop of blood in my body and every last breath in my body to keep the laws of God if I can help it, as long as the Most High God has use for me. But some of y'all have grown so puffed up with knowledge that now you're thinking, well, hold on a second, let me get deeper meaning out of this. It's a shame, man. When we're seeing the original teachers of some of the brothers, or a lot of the brothers who are on the streets, start to bug out. And it's not just Genesis. It's not just Sakar. SOT, all these cats is starting to, all of a sudden, weird doctrines coming out. Now, all of a sudden, Yahushua only has one iteration. But who did God make the promise to King David to, or King David for, to sit on the throne of Israel forever? He made the promise with King David. And he said his son would sit on the throne. So if he's talking about Solomon, then how is Solomon still sitting on the throne today if he's not Yahushua in the reincarnation? It ain't just the camps I mentioned going off. You got SOT going on. It's time, y'all. It's time for us to come back to our first love. Stop trying to reach beyond our station. Stop trying to get clout on social media. I think that's one of the things that's really hurting our people. We reaching out to folks we ain't got no business dealing with, trying to get clout. Why y'all still trying to deal with vocab alone? I do not understand. That shit to me, that is bananas. This dude is an out-and-spoken agent who is directly collaborating with the United States government, likely under COINTELPRO, or counterintelligence, to report on the Israelites and their activities, camp sizes, doctrine, ways of operation. Y'all are operating with a government asset trying to get debates. What is wrong with you niggas? Straight up, what is wrong with y'all, man? Enough is enough. Your people need so much help, and you still looking to all these damn naysayers to get clout. Nigga, wake up. Ain't no more clout to be had, man. Everything is shutting down. Y'all like the niggas walking into a damn restaurant, and they telling you we done turned the lights off and the grill off. It's over. And y'all still talking about, shit, I got a party of 5. Dumb niggas, man. But, did we get to 10?
You wanted to keep that 13, 24.
Yeah, get that real quick.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are the stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
Now, what if you try to have debates with your enemy and try to hold them in your midst? That would make you common, not holy. To be holy is to be set apart. So his ways are plain unto the holy, but stumbling blocks unto the wicked. All y'all trying to collaborate with the heathen, you're the wicked. Right. Newsflash, spoiler alert. I'm not saying I'm the most righteous brother on the planet, but I know wickedness when I see it. And this whole idea of trying to have all these debates with all these damn, like, I mean, I don't understand how you can shit on seminary school, you shit on all these Christians, You've berated and you've mocked them for decades. And now all of a sudden, well, some of them might get in. They might be okay. So is Vocab Malone one of the elect? You see, because if they're going to receive salvation, I thought salvation was for the elect. That would make him of the elect. How about Dr. Michael Brown? And I don't know if if he keeps the orthodox laws of jewelry. So he might have, been partaker in the Mezita Pape. I mean, these are real questions y'all got to answer. How about your Jew who says he's Yahushua? Yeah, he's one of our people. But he could just repent from that. He could just go, I didn't mean it, guys. Sorry. I thought you had to be a righteous person. You had to be separate. Not common. It's common for somebody to say that they're Christ. That's very common. Look online right now. People who have claimed to be Christ. It will be so many people throughout so many different time periods in world history. You do not have enough time to learn of them all. So my thing is, just be holy, y'all. Keep the plain, righteous works. Don't make it complicated. We're going to bring out a little bit more, and then we're going to dip. What time is it? We'll go to 6:30. Yeah. Brother, get me Zechariah 2 and 7 through 13. And then we're going to go to Isaiah 46 and 3 through 5. Because, see, it's important to understand. Y'all are trying to extend mercy to the same people the Most High God is very angry with. Because you need to understand, while you were in slavery, the Most High God was there with you. And not only was he there with you, he counted you as the apple of his eye. So what they did to you, they did to him. Let's hear about it.
Zechariah chapter 2, verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of the hosts hath sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Lord.
So the salvation of the so-called Gentiles is to be a servant. I didn't say it. Zechariah just did. So why are we all of a sudden now trying to give outs to people that the Most High God didn't extend quarter to? Why are you trying to give mercy that's not within your authority to issue out? Just got questions. That's all. I'm not slinging any accusations at nobody. I just have questions. Because at this point, no one should have to accuse you of anything if you're a so-called leader in this Israelite truth. You should recuse yourself and apologize to the community and try to right the wrong of misdirecting your people. But I know in pride, most of you, you're not going to break stride for anything. That's why, again, I say stick to the Old Testament. And I'm not saying go Old Testament only, but if you're going to debate anybody, I don't understand why you're not debating with the Old Testament. All the points of contention are cleared up when you go to the Old Testament. You say salvation for everybody? Old Testament don't say that. Straight up. It tells you salvation for the Gentiles is to be a slave. Don't like it? Deal with God about that. Hell, give me Joel 2 and 27. I mean, shit, Isaiah 45:17, the milk scriptures. Remember how we just said, the ways of the Most High God are plain unto the holy, but stumbling blocks unto the wicked? That whole doctrine gets cut by the milk of the scriptures, man. All that convoluted linguistical, oh yeah, you got to get this translation and you got to break this down in the Greek and the Hebrew. I'm not against doing any of that stuff. But when you bring in heretical doctrine, hey man, you going on. Go ahead and get it.
Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
And what?
And none else.
Wait, other people can be saved.
And none else.
Keep going.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
Go down to the last one. Right. So the Most High God is making it plain, man. He's our God and none else. See, the thing is, y'all are thinking that the heathen can just obey God's laws and then receive mercy. No, the heathen have to put themselves under you to receive mercy. See, that's why these heathen who come up here and kiss boots and bow down, they might receive ridicule from their own people, but they don't understand that's how they get salvation. When I come to your town, bow down. I know what you're saying. See, these heathen, man, they need to understand the way you go get saved is you need to find the nearest Israelite and go kiss some boots. And ask that Israelite, how can I make your life better or easier while you're in captivity? Because you know the favor is going to be returned 100-fold. Not if they keep the Sabbath. What type of shit is that when the Most High God never told them to do it? Man, and normally, man, this ain't camp bashing, right? But I normally don't try to correct any other camps. I'm going to be honest. That's not my role out here. I'm just out here to try to get our people back on the straight path. Oh, when you're talking about heretical doctrines that is going to throw lesser Israelites off the beaten path, I got to check you on that, man.
How can they keep something that wasn't given to them?
Yeah, how do you going to keep a law that God never gave them? And again, this is all the milk. We can go to Psalms 147. We can go to Amos 3 and 1 through 2. These are all the milk scriptures that we always pull. But I notice, and I'm guilty of it too, you be trying to get scriptures that say the same thing, but it's in a different book. You try to make it more complex so you don't sound repetitive. And then before you know it, you'd have forgot the original scriptures. And then when you read it again, you go, damn, I forgot about that. I forgot how sharp this sword was. That's why those are the foundational scriptures that you need. But go ahead and go get it, brother.
Joel chapter 2, verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call.
So in Mount Zion shall there be deliverance. See, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you are Mount Zion. You are the Israelites. And the Most High God is coming, or sending his son to deliver you. And yes, we have scattered Israelite brethren all over the earth. If you want to know about them, I can tell you about them. Y'all got time for the Bible tonight? All right, thou says. See, again, man, most of our people, they don't understand this correction is needed. Because when you get in trouble, you're going to call on God, and you ain't even going to know what his name is. If you think God's name is God, you don't know what's going on. If you think Jesus Christ's name is Jesus, the letter J is 500 years old, you don't know what's going on. But when you get in trouble, you're going to wish you knew what's going on. You're going to be wishing that you stopped just to hear the name of God so you could call on the right person.
Why didn't nobody tell me?
Yeah, why didn't somebody tell me? Ain't that the number one thing you hear from blacks and Hispanics? Well, nobody told me. If it was wrong for me to shoplift from Walmart to feed my family, why didn't somebody tell me? Nobody has to tell you to not to steal. And ignorance of the law is not an excuse to break it. You find that out the hard way here in Babylon. You get pulled over for a damn traffic violation. Or you cross the street outside of a crosswalk and you don't know all the jaywalking laws in your district. All of a sudden, you go, man, I didn't know that. Why are you penalizing me for things I was never taught? And what does the cop or the judge say? Your ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
If you didn't know when you're being judged and going through something, you got to search within yourself. Well, shit, I must have been doing something wrong. What
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, you got to figure it out. You got to hold yourself accountable. Because you're not being jammed up for no reason. See, and in Joel 2 and 32, it literally tells you in deliverance, or in Mount Zion shall there be deliverance. So again, where are all these heathen who are not only kissing boots, but giving you their paycheck every week or every 2 weeks? Where are all these heathen making sure our people get off the streets and don't go hungry and keep the laws of God? Where are they at? So I'm going to tell you, they don't exist. They don't exist. The ones who seem like they are just dead set on keeping the laws of God, they're not heathen. We already brought it out in 2 Ezra 3 and 36. Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. Brother, can you get me Isaiah 46 and 3 through 5? Because in Zechariah, we see that the Most High God is taking it very personally what these nations do to the Israelites. With the Israelites being the apple of his eye. Well, let's see what Isaiah has to say.
It's Isaiah chapter 46, verse 3.
Bring it out.
Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. And even to your old age, I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear, even I will carry and will deliver you. To whom will you liken me, and make equal, and compare me, that we may be a light of, that we may be light.
So the Most High God states through Isaiah that he is with us at all times and through all things. To the hoary hairs of our head, meaning to the white gray hairs of our head. To when we've grown old. All the way from the time that we came out of the belly. Now they're inquisitive. If you actually look at those green bugs, they fly around and they inspect you. Yeah, you can actually
It's crazy. Yeah, got to do a close inspection of my farm.
get, yeah. But I saw it. He wasn't hard. And to those of y'all, what I was telling the brother, when you see insects coming up to you, hey man, don't bat them away. A lot of times, if you just let them inspect, they're curious. All the things on the planet have a spirit. They think too. And see, that's why the Israelites are a cut above the rest. Because a righteous man has care of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Now, to a beast that's bucking up at you, oh yeah, you're going to get corrected. Yeah, buddy. Because you're supposed to subjugate the earth. But to the animals and the beasts that are playing their part and being at peace with you, reciprocate. But when it comes to these, that's the spirit, the beasts of the field. That's what the heathen are called. So to the beasts of the field who are at peace with you, reciprocate. But to the beasts of the field who buck up at you and bare their teeth and bite you and tear your flesh, you know what time it is. You already know what time it is. See, again, the Most High God is saying, I'm with you in all things. So if the Most High God was with us in slavery, you think the Most High God didn't take it personal? When we were being buck broken, when we were being cut open and our babies stepped on, Mary Turner, look her up. You think the Most High God wasn't there for all them lashes that the white man put on your back? And most of y'all don't even know, the Arab man fed our babies to alligators too. How about them Edomites who still got them damn leather jackets and they, you know, the leather skin jackets made out of slave skin and they attics? Or the furniture that has Negro hair in it. You think God ain't there for that? You think God don't know about that? While that heathen is smiling in your face talking about, I'm all better now. You think God don't know the truth? That's why I say stay in your lane. You're considering a matter that you don't have a way of qualifying or quantifying. You have no way of making a diligent inquiry and having a accurate estimate of the righteousness of this heathen. Leave that to God. Brother, can you get me Isaiah 59 and 18, and we're going to close on this one. There's more to the lesson. I'll probably do a sit down with it. But I think we brought out enough just to drive the point home. Who are we to extend mercy to God's enemies? And for those of y'all who need a laundry list of God's enemies, Psalms 83, you already know.
118. Just 18.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense.
Actually, we're going to read more, but
So the Most High God is going to return the favor to all of his enemies according to their deeds. That's why, again, I say stay in your lane, because you don't know the deeds of your enemies when they come up and stand before you. That's why I'm really questioning the reason and the impetus behind this doctrine. Why now? And in that same day, you had somebody who was previously a damn, is it Monkey Engine 7? No, it's 4.
I think he took a different route this time.
Yeah, they back there again, picking up somebody else. But earlier in the day, you had a video yesterday of the, I'll just say his name, Gorilla Hebrew. And he's saying he got receipts on how people who are not so innocent, who are pretending to be innocent, while they run their king. You got to keep in mind, y'all, as a king is, so are his rulers and his lieutenants. So how are they able to hold a camp together for 12 years and he's just the only one doing dirt? You've got rumors of spousal abuse being witnessed. And yet, nobody saying anything, nobody doing anything. I'm not trying to bring everybody's business out. I'm not going to do that. However, just ask yourself that question because it don't make sense any other way. Is that camera still going? I know we be filling that memory card up real quick, man. It's done? All right, it's cool. I got it all right here, man. Even though the camera dropped and turned off and I had to turn it back on, so we're going to have to splice the shit together, but it's cool. We can just send it to Yakamai. He do all that. Yeah. Young fella, you going to have some work to do. Your old ninjas, man, we can't do it no more. We are IT illiterate. Shit, I hung up my IT shit a long time ago.
Beyond us.
Yeah, it's beyond us. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High God is going to requite his enemies according to their works. Hey, man, it's not personal, y'all. It's business. That's why I really didn't appreciate the accusation that everybody's just so blinded by hate and want. It's like, bro, ain't nobody blinded by hate. We want what God wants. Recompense to our enemies. We want things to be balanced out. Why is that a crime?
Hate them that hate us.
For real, man. If the most righteous of the Israelites had to go into captivity, why are we trying to give the hope that the most righteous of the Gentiles don't? That makes no sense. But brother, let's keep going there.
Verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord.
So you got the Most High God who's going to lift up the standard against our enemies when they come in like a flood, which is about to happen, by the way. See, most of y'all don't even realize there's more troops going out. Now Trump is sending troops to New Orleans. That's a stone's throw away from Houston, which is another stone's throw away from San Antonio. And you could drive to Dallas in, what, a quarter of a day? Probably about 5 hours? 4 hours. It don't even take that long. So if they in New Orleans, and they already in Memphis, they pretty much already here. We're almost at the end, y'all. We're about to go into the famine of the word. Don't slip up now. Don't get soft now. I mean, damn, if you need spiritual Viagra, man, just read your Bible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not to make it, sexual or anything, but damn, man, if you starting to wilt and kind of fall over, man, you need to get some lift me up. For real, man. You need to go back to your first love and fortify your foundation, because that's why a lot of us Israelites are falling off. You're forgetting to search the scriptures to show yourself approved. You too busy trying to read Christian commentaries and attend other churches.
Right.
Do your damn job. Stop getting distracted. But we see that the Redeemer is going to come to Zion and those that turn from transgression in Jacob. Where are the heathen in that? I didn't know the heathen could turn from transgression. What laws they follow? And I thought Christ came to do the will of his Father. So why would he then go off and head to the heathen? I have questions. And I've already accounted for the reason why the heathen are present. Because we are to preach this among the Gentiles because we are scattered among them. As it says in Tobit 13.
Right.
I don't understand. I have questions. It's a dark day when we have to go back to the doctrine to prove that salvation is only for Israel. It's a dark day, man. All these complex matters people are trying to talk about, Paul eating food sacrificed unto idols. All these things. Who wrote the book of Hebrews? You know, was the book of Daniel, you know, in multiple parts, was Isaiah in multiple parts, what's canon, what's not, all these different things we keep weighing. But then all of a sudden we trip over the damn rock of can the heathen get salvation? When it's a resounding hell no. Got a question? See, when I said that heathen can't get salvation, he looked over here real quick. Don't worry. They're going to be saved for slavery, just like us. See, again, man, whether it be man, woman, small or great, we ain't changing the truth of God for nothing. We ain't doing it for a bag. We ain't doing it for a deal. You ain't going to see us on no Adam 22 trying to get a job. Because we know that friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High God. And we take that very seriously. My question is to you Israelite teachers, do you? To y'all leading camps, do you take it serious? Because if you do, you shouldn't be arranging debates with all these damn doctors and theologians. What fruit will it bear? Most of your people don't even know who the hell they are. So if you make Dr. Michael Brown look foolish, who did you really reach? You might have reached one or two people when you got the multitude waiting for you. And I'm not saying that one or two people ain't worth it. However, that's not the modality that you use to get to them. But y'all, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I know y'all tired of hearing me. That's too bad, nigga. I want to go another 2 hours. Okay. Shit, this mic ain't gonna last that long. But y'all, we gonna get Revelations 22 and 14. Actually, no, we gonna get Revelations 21. Let me get my other Bible out, because I ain't got Revelations 21 in this. We're going to go to the final book of the Bible. And I want to read something in Revelations 21 that will let you know essentially how salvation is going to play out. Because the Gentiles are going to have their role, and their role is going to be as servants. And to the honorable servants who distinguish themselves in their servitude, they're going to be rewarded handsomely. But are they going to be anywhere on the level of an Israelite? No. Resoundingly no. Definitely no. Deafeningly no. And we just have to be okay with that because the Most High God said so. On some stone cold shit. That's the bottom line. Because God said so. You ain't got to like it. But get me Revelation 21. And you know what we're going to read? Shit. Because I want to read some on the back end of it too. So, yeah, give me 1 through 4. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 through 5 real quick. Yeah.
Revelations chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
So how is a heathen supposed to receive that type of salvation if they're going into captivity?
Right.
Where pain is pretty much the name of the game until they get corrected. But on the brighter note, that's what it's going to mean for us to receive salvation. See, when we come out the heavens with those glorified bodies, and that's a good question too, can the heathen get the glorified body as well? I mean, again, so many holes in the doctrine. But our people, once we're renewed and restored, ain't going to be no more sorrow. Ain't going to be no more grief. There's not going to be any more death. If you understand the cycle of death, death is really the forgetting of things past.
Right.
If you're renewed, you didn't forget anything, so you never died. You see what I'm saying? So that whole translation from, cycle to cycle every 1,000 years. Because it says that we will be as trees unto the Most High God. Trees usually live about 1,000 years. Not to mention, you get the timetable set with the millennial reign of Yahushua and the first fruits, who get to reign beside him. I mean, so you mean to tell me that Yahushua going to be sitting there going, man, I love Fred the Edomite. He's my favorite one. I mean, I'm just giving you little visuals, man. Because you have to let this play out, and you have to see it, you know what I'm saying, playing out so that you can say, this don't make any sense. Same thing with GMS and the whole, as soon as a woman enters, or a girl enters menses. For those of y'all who know what that is, when a woman has her first period, she's fair game. Well, in this kingdom, a girl can have her period at the age of 8. So what are we talking about? And you think Yahushua is going to be like, yep, that's what I like. You have to visualize this shit, man. If you don't visualize it, when you say it, it doesn't have the same context. That's why we don't believe in the book of Jasher. Because when Isaac took Rebekah, it says that he took her at 9 years old. So is that righteous? You see what I'm saying? It's the doctrinal things that keep being introduced. And these are small things that great men trip over because they're too busy trying to be something that they're not. If you kept it simple and just stuck to the script, you wouldn't have to look foolish. That's still a stain on GMS right now. The rape doctrine. It's still a stain. And that's because they won't renounce it. They won't renounce it. Why, I don't know. If any of them had an 8-year-old daughter who entered into menses, they would not be saying, hey, let's get you a husband. She ain't even done liking Barbies yet. Right. Again, I have to bring up these doctrines because I'm not going to get on one and not the others. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the Sabbath, hey, when Yahushua comes, he's going to let you know what the real thing is. If it's the lunar cycle, cool. If it's the 7-day calendar, cool. When it comes to the laws, as long as you're willing to get on the right page when the Messiah shows up, I ain't got no problem with serving with you. But if you got heretical doctrine that's telling you to do things in opposition to the Most High God and His laws, I have a problem with you. And I refuse to stand shoulder to shoulder with you. Straight up. But let's get this in Revelations 21. And start at 24 and read that. Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Y'all got time for the Bible tonight? I'm sorry? Oh, no, y'all good, man. Yeah, y'all be safe out here, all right? Yeah, if y'all Native Hispanic, just know y'all Israelites, okay? Keep God's love. Go ahead and get it, brother. Yeah, read that.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
So these are the nobles of these heathen nations bringing their riches unto the Gentiles, or unto the Israelites, lucky, right? Where do we see that happening? Isaiah 60.
Right.
It's just restating what's already in the Old Testament. That's why I keep telling people, why you argue with niggas about the New Testament and what things mean instead of going to the Old Testament? It boggles my mind. I don't get it. You're wasting your time. God already spoke on these matters. He adjudicated these matters. You're not going to get any more understanding out of something than what God told you. Everything else is a derivative, even the words of Christ. And I'm not saying that to value his words or his input at all. But how much better is it to get it from the source and not from the one that's been sent? Again, it's not hard. Stick to what God said. Thus saith the Lord. If you can. That's why this brother can attest to it. I hate arguing the New Testament because it never ends. Because it's always according to somebody's personal belief. instead of just going back to what God told you. And I say that to my Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brethren. Find out what God thinks on matters. You want to know why your neighborhoods are messed up, why your children aren't safe? See what God has to say about it. Because he talked about it extensively. Read what the curses are that he put on us if we don't listen to him. He spoke on these matters. Read about who he's sending salvation to and how he's going to send it. Read about how he's going to defend his people. Like birds flying, the Most High God is going to defend Jerusalem. Read about that in Isaiah. Read about how he's going to send storm, tempest, and earthquake in the book of Nahum. Read about it. Because your life depends on it. And don't assume your leaders are telling the truth. Again, that is one of my last tidbits of advice that I would speak to any Israelite who's already in the truth. Stop assuming that your camp leaders are right about everything, and show yourself approved and study the scriptures for yourself. Right. Stop leaning on them, because you're supposed to be working out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So I'm going to tell you, when Yahushua has you in the judgment seat, he's not going to ask you about your camp leader. He probably won't even ask you what camp you were in. He's gonna just say, hey, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? Or he's gonna commend you for the things you did do. How you doing? Got time for the Bible, brother?
No, sir, sorry.
All right. Thou says, just know God gonna say the same when you pray. See, again, man, it's not just to the heathen, it's to our people too. According to your deeds, accordingly he will repay. Hey man, it's idle words until you fall into that shit, and all of a sudden you're like, damn man, I sure wish I had done right, because I wouldn't be in this damn fucked up position right now had I done just the simplest thing. And we ain't even trying to get more than 5 minutes of your time. We just trying to see if you're an Israelite or not. And probably tell you to get away from that white woman. But, you know, it is what it is. Because it's not expedient. She's gonna turn your heart away from following the Most High. Probably already has, man. He on that ebony and ivory spirit. Talking about ebony and ivory come together in perfect harmony. When? I understand Stevie Wonder blind, but nigga, you ain't deaf and dumb. For real, that nigga was trying to make money. Wasn't that Paul McCartney? Or McCarthy or whatever his name is? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, nigga, you might be blind, but you ain't stupid. Your people ain't never had no damn harmony with these motherfuckers. Right? But let's get that last verse.
Verse 27. And there shall in no wise enter into it, and anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
So are Gentiles written in the Lamb's book of life? Because if we go to Daniel 12, it's talking about the Israelites. See, again, it's the simple things, man. And I hate that I had to spend my whole lesson out here talking about it, but shit, I ain't gonna do it nowhere else. Because I want everybody to hear it. Especially considering most of y'all can't pay attention for about 3-4 hours, so shit, the hell with it. You know what I'm saying? See, and then that's why a lot of y'all, when y'all go to camp, the first thing you thinking, as soon as you done brought out 2 scriptures, when am I going home? You're supposed to be laboring, man. But y'all, we gonna get Revelations 22:14, and then we gonna sign out.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city.
And with that, y'all, we're going to say, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That means all praises be unto Yahweh in the name of the Son Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
And Mawathlaba Ball.
All praise.
Yeah, but shorter trip to the camera, so we turn it off. All right, y'all.